My 8 months pregnant sister-in-law was pushed to the ground, suffering massive bleeding before being rushed to the hospital. I drove past, rolled up my window, pretended not to see anything, and sped away. In my past life, I came across my unconscious sister-in-law hemorrhaging heavily and immediately took her to the hospital, but the situation was critical. The massive bleeding led to an amniotic fluid embolism. My husband happened to be the top obstetrician-gynecologist in the city. I begged him over the phone to rush to the hospital, but he thought I was just jealous that he was dining with his white moonlight and her family. He accused me of throwing a tantrum and fabricating an emergency with his sister just to force him to come home. By the time his family arrived at the hospital, his sister had already passed away due to a failed treatment for an amniotic fluid embolism. His entire family blamed me for her death. Convinced that I intentionally misled my husband and caused his sister's demise, my brother-in-law, who had rushed back from out of town, believed their slander. Overwhelmed with grief, he stabbed me to death at my sister-in-law's funeral. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day my sister-in-law was pushed, causing her to bleed profusely. My mind was in a daze. As the red light ahead lit up, I instinctively hit the brakes and stopped at the intersection. Screams and shouts erupted from the roadside. "Call an ambulance, there's a pregnant woman who fell and is bleeding heavily." My hand immediately grabbed the door handle, but as I pushed the door open, a vivid image flashed through my mind, my husband and his family pointing their fingers at me, screaming and blaming me for causing my sister-in-law's death, and I touched my own abdomen, the very place where my sister-in-law's husband had once brutally stabbed me to a pulp. Phantom pains made every muscle in my body twitch with aching. I pulled my hand back, the light turned green, and without hesitation I hit the gas and sped off. To keep my in-laws from pinning the blame on me when they needed a scapegoat, I went straight to my mother-in-law's house. "Mom, Chinyen's working late today. I bought some fish for you." At 1001 hashtag, I walked in, pretending not to notice my mother-in-law's flustered and guilty expression as she hastily ended the video call. "Yaya's here." Before she could finish her sentence, the phone rang. Her face turned pale the moment she answered. Tears instantly welled up in her eyes, her legs gave way, and she stumbled toward me in a frantic, clumsy rush. "Quick, get to the hospital. Yang had a fall." I already knew what happened, but I feigned shock as I helped my mother-in-law into the car. We rushed to the maternity hospital at top speed, the same hospital where my husband works, in this lifetime, without my involvement. It was a passerby who called the ambulance that brought my sister-in-law to the hospital. By the time we arrived, my sister-in-law had already been taken into the operating room. Next of kin, sign here. The mother fell at 32 weeks gestation and is hemorrhaging severely. An emergency C-section is required. Just like in my previous life, my mother-in-law signed the form with trembling hands. I said to my mother-in-law, "Chinyen is the top obstetrician in the city. He's working overtime today. Just to be safe, I'll call him over." After a moment's hesitation, my mother-in-law nodded. I called Chinyen 3 times in a row, but no one picked up. "Mom, Chinyen might be busy. I'll go look for him in his department." My mother-in-law's eyes darted nervously as she nodded at me. The moment I walked away, she called Chinyen herself. I knew he wasn't at the hospital at all, so there was no point in wasting my energy going to look for him. Standing in the stairwell, I watched my mother-in-law repeatedly dial Chinyen's number. Her expression shifted from calm to anxious, then to desperate as tears began to fall. I couldn't help but smirk. Little did she know, her precious son had long since silenced his phone so he could quietly enjoy his time with his white moonlight. Right before I walked in, it was Chinyen who had video called his mother, just to keep her occupied with me a little longer, so she wouldn't interrupt his secret rendezvous. Watching my mother-in-law fret like an ant on a hot skillet, I deliberately rushed back, panting and out of breath. "Mom, Chinyen's colleague said he didn't work overtime today, and he's not answering my calls." My mother-in-law's face briefly showed a flicker of guilt, but she still covered for Chinyen. "Maybe he was called away. If you can't get through, try again later." Just then, Chinyen's aunt, along with my sister-in-law's parents-in-law, arrived. The aunt glared at me, her eyebrows furrowing instantly. "Where's Chinyen? Isn't he an obstetrician? What good are you here? Why haven't you called him over yet?" Aunt Chen is my father-in-law's biological sister. After his passing, she took charge of every matter in the Chen family, big or small. In my past life, when the doctor announced my sister-in-law's death, before I could even process the news, she slapped me twice across the face. "Your young sister-in-law, as the eldest brother's wife, you should be like a mother to her. how could you just stand by and watch her die? In this life, I certainly won't give her that opportunity again, I said with a bitter smile. Aunt Chen, I can't reach Chen Yen. He told me this morning he was working overtime, but I just went to check. His colleague said he didn't come to the hospital today. I've been calling him, but his phone is unreachable. My mother-in-law hesitated, her lips parting briefly before she closed them again without a word. Are you stupid? If you can't get through, just keep trying. Useless, my sister-in-law shrieked. I quickly pulled out my phone and started dialing repeatedly. Finally, on the 10th attempt, the call went through. I immediately put the call on speakerphone. Honey, are you insane? Why are you blowing up my phone? I told you I'm working overtime. I'm busy. Stop bothering me, honey. Yang Yang just had a bad fall and is bleeding heavily. She's still in the operating room. Where are you? You're supposed to be at the hospital. There was a brief pause on the other end of the line, followed by a woman's overly sweet, affected voice. Oh, so the wife came to check up on you at the hospital. Nian, I hope your colleagues won't get the wrong idea. And you, dear wife, couldn't you just ask Nian directly if you had concerns? Instead, you show up at his workplace and even wish misfortune upon Sister Yang Yang. That's just malicious. No, that's not true. I didn't. Chen Yan, Yang Yang really is in the operating room. If you don't believe me, you can. Get out. Couldn't even bother to come up with a decent lie. How could Yang Yang possibly fall at her mother-in-law's house? Your jealous tantrums have crossed the line, showing up at my workplace. If this messes up my year-end evaluation, I swear I'll end you. Before I could say another word, the call disconnected. The previously murmuring hallway outside the operating room fell into complete silence. I let out a bitter laugh, putting on a convincingly wounded expression. My mother-in-law averted her gaze, and Aunt Chen's face briefly flashed with embarrassment before she fell silent. My sister-in-laws exchanged disdainful glances and sighed in unison. Just then, the operating room door burst open and a nurse rushed out, addressing us with visible anxiety. The mother is experiencing an amniotic fluid embolism. Since you're Dr. Chen's family, can anyone contact him immediately? My eyes flickered. Everything was unfolding exactly as it had in my previous life. My mother-in-law's legs gave way, and she collapsed to the ground. Aunt Chen could no longer pretend this had nothing to do with her. She immediately called Chen Yen, muttering under her breath, "It's going to be fine. Chen Yen is the best obstetrician. He saved several patients from amniotic fluid embolism. He'll definitely save Yang Yang." The golden window for treating an amniotic fluid embolism is a mere 10 minutes. It's literally a race against death. Over the past 3 years, Chen Yen had successfully saved 5 mothers from amniotic fluid embolism, with only one case ending in failure. This instantly made him the head of the Central Maternity Hospital. Aunt Chen's call went through. She cried out in panic, "Chen Yen, get to the hospital now. Your sister has an amniotic fluid embolism. You're the only one who can save her." In the background, children could be heard shrieking with laughter, while adults clinked glasses and cheered boisterously. "Aunt, is Lin Yu's hysteria contagious? When will this drama end? I'm at her beck and call 365 days a year. Can't I have just one day of peace? Let me be. There's nothing between Ningning and me. Her family's in town and I'm just having a meal with them. For this one day, could you please stop blowing up my phone?" Chen Yen, I'm not lying. Your sister's in real trouble. She's having an amniotic fluid embolism. You're her only hope now. I'm begging you. Come back immediately. You'll regret it for life if you don't. I'd regret coming back. Chen Yen's voice was icy, devoid of any warmth. The mother-in-law broke down hearing Chen Yen's response, clutching the phone as she sobbed. "Son, your aunt's telling the truth. Your sister's life is in danger. Even if you don't trust Lin Yu or your aunt, how can you doubt me? Come home now." I couldn't help but sigh inwardly. To me, my mother-in-law was no good. She knew about Chen Yen's affair yet helped cover it up. But to Chen Yang, she was a wonderful mother. "Chen Yen, did you hear what your mother said? Do you really think she'd lie to you? Hurry back already." Aunt Chen was hopping with impatience. "Mom, you." Chen Yen's voice trailed off uncertainly. "Ah, Nianji, my eyes are killing me." The woman's delicate cry of pain was accompanied by the sound of adults scolding a child. "How could you shoot marbles at your aunt's face?" Chen Yen's concerned voice suddenly came through the phone. "Bai Ning, are you in pain? Don't move. I'm a doctor. Let me help you check it out." Then Chen Yen spoke into the phone with urgent yet icy coldness. "Mom, stop the act, even if what you're saying is true. It's no use. I've had quite a bit to drink, I can't drive, and I can't make it back." With that, he hung up the phone. the phone slipped and clattered to the floor. The mother-in-law also slumped forward, her head hitting the ground, and she lay motionless for a long moment. Aunt Chen knelt on the floor, tears streaming silently down her face, muttering under her breath, "How did Chinyan turn out like this? How could he do this? How could he abandon his own family for some woman on the outside? That beast, that absolute beast." I helped my mother-in-law up, staring at the huge bump on her forehead from hitting the ground. It made me question if giving birth to such a son was worth all her suffering, yet I felt no pity for her, for in my past life, she too had played a part in driving me to my death. After what felt like an eternity, the operating room doors swung open once more. "We're sorry, we did everything we could. My sister-in-law died with her unborn child." And my mother-in-law was so distraught she stopped eating and drinking, just clutching her clothes and weeping. Aunt Chen was furious, recounting everything that happened at the hospital to every relative and cursing Chen Yan as a monster. When my sister-in-law's in-laws learned that the baby she was carrying was a boy, they broke down in even more heart-wrenching sobs. Her husband Zhang Ji rushed back from out of town that same day, when he saw his deceased wife and son. His face contorted with anguish, eyes burning crimson. He simply couldn't process the fact that his wife, who had just been dreaming with him about their happy future as a family of 3 before his business trip, was gone forever after just 3 days of his absence. After learning the truth from his parents, Zhang Ji wiped away his tears and quietly began making funeral arrangements with me. No one thought to inform Chen Yan. Especially after discovering he'd been dining with Bai Ning's family at the hotel across from the hospital, he hadn't even bothered to come verify the situation. Even his mother-in-law had completely lost faith in him. There was no way I'd let Chen Yan miss such a momentous occasion. On the day of my sister-in-law's funeral back in our hometown, I had someone inform him a day in advance. On the day of the burial, a light rain fell as I stood by the car under an umbrella, watching the pallbearers carry her coffin from the mourning tent. In my past life, it was on this very day that Zhang Ji hacked me to death with his blade, my blood mingling with the rain to form a crimson carpet for my sister-in-law's final journey. The hearse hadn't even cleared the doorway when his beat-up car screeched to a halt. He stormed out and charged toward me. I stared at him with numb detachment, not even uttering a word. Smack. His eyes fell on the black and white photograph in my arms. He slapped me across the face, snarling, "You scheming bitch. How dare you use my sister's death to manipulate me into coming back." I collapsed to the floor, the photo dragging its frame down with it. Mud splattered across my sister-in-law's face in the picture, leaving only a pair of icy eyes visible, staring coldly at Chen Yan as if observing all the worldly sufferings. Chen Yan's eyes burned crimson. Whether from terror or rage that had unleashed his brutality, not a trace remained of the gentle, refined doctor he once was. His face now twisted with pure malice as he lunged at me. "You bitch, how dare you lie? How dare you curse my sister? I'll beat you to death." I let Chen Yan's blows rain down on me, my gaze fixed on the photo of my sister-in-law. Silently, I pleaded, "Chen Yang, you'd better see clearly who your real enemy is. When you stand before the king of hell, don't accuse the wrong soul. Enough, what are you making a scene for?" Hearing the commotion, people rushed out from the mourning hall. Aunt Chen shoved Chen Yan aside, sobbing and screaming, "You beast, your sister could have been saved. We called you so many times, your mother was practically on her knees begging you. And just because of that little bitch's word, you left her to die. You killed your own sister. How dare you come here and cause trouble at her funeral? What do you want? What the hell are you trying to do?" Chen Yan staggered back, his face a mask of feigned composure over sheer terror. "Aunt, what are you talking about? How could Yang Yang really be gone? She lied to me. How could you all conspire with her to deceive me? Is it because she's pregnant? Are you siding with her just for the sake of the child?" I curled into myself, letting the rain pelt my face, washing away the torrent of tears. "So Chen Yan already knew I was pregnant at that time. You all lied to me. I want to see Yang Yang, Yang Yang, Yang Yang." Chen Yan charged toward the memorial hall, only to be forced back the next second. 8 strong men carried the black coffin, slowly emerging from the entrance. "Weren't you looking for Yang Yang? Well, Yang Yang is here." Aunt Chen wiped the rain from her face and pointed at the coffin with a sarcastic tone. Chen Yan staggered to the side of the coffin, his legs giving way as he collapsed to the ground. "Who are you putting on this act for? Your wife begged you to come back, and you said she was lying. I asked you to return, and you claimed I was deceiving you. Even when your mother knelt and kowtowed to plead with you, you still accused her of dishonesty. Do you truly believe we're all lying to you?" Or is your sister's life worth less to you than having dinner with some woman outside? No. That's not it at all. Yang is my sister, the little sister I've raised since she was a child. I've always cherished her like my own daughter. My relationship with Yang was strained. Though she lost her father early, she was doted on by Grandma and Yan, which made her spoiled and willful. What's more, since Yan always treated me with disregard, she never showed me an ounce of respect either. Every time we met, she'd order me around with nothing but contempt in her tone. In the past, I was constantly pitted against her for Yan's favor. She always came out on top, with Yan defending her unconditionally, every single time. Now she was finally forced into a competition, and a single defeat cost her everything. Perhaps this is what they call karma. Slap. Yan's constant evasion infuriated Aunt Chen, who responded with a stinging slap across his face. I endured the dragging pain in my lower abdomen, feeling nothing but grim satisfaction. If I'd had the strength, I would have loved to give him a good beating. Someone helped me up from the ground. Clutching my sister-in-law's funeral portrait, I stood to the side, head bowed as I carefully wiped the mud from its surface. I let the blood continue to soak through my skirt. My child, I'm so sorry. Go find parents who will truly welcome your arrival. I had just wiped the photo clean when Yan shoved me hard again, taking all his anger out on me. It's you killed my sister. How could she just fall out of nowhere when she was safe at home? It's all your fault, you jinx. Give me back my sister. I fell to the ground once more, the photo in my hand splashing into a puddle, my feet drenched in blood. But whether it was Aunt Chen or Yan, they both acted as if they couldn't see any of it. Lin Yu, you've always been jealous of Yang, resentful of the affection I showed her, but she was my own sister. How could you take her life, you murderer? I'll make you pay. Yan's face contorted into a grotesque mask, twisted with rage like a rabid beast, every trace of humanity gone from his expression. This outburst was even more disgraceful than in our previous life. Of course, in our past life they had grounds to pin my sister-in-law's death on me. I was the only one waiting outside the operating room, and with no witnesses to my phone call with him. He could twist the narrative however he wanted, but in this life, his mother-in-law, Aunt Chen, and even his sister-in-law's in-laws all knew what he had done. There was no way he could weasel out of it now. He was just lashing out in shame and anger. His own words couldn't even convince himself, so of course he lost control. I swallowed the retort on the tip of my tongue, hugged my head, and curled into a ball. Today was the day of my sister-in-law's funeral. The Chens didn't care, and the Zhongs wouldn't let Yan hold things up either, just as expected. As the coffin was loaded into the hearse, Zhang Ji supported his parents as they walked out of the mourning hall. Yan, get the hell out of here. Don't you dare taint my wife's path to reincarnation. 5. Zhang Ji grabbed Yan by the collar and threw a punch, pinning him to the ground and landing 2 more heavy blows. Aunt Chen immediately stepped in to stop him. Zhang Ji, stop hitting him, you'll kill him. I let out a cold laugh through the pain racking my body. Birds of a feather really do flock together. It's not my fault, it's all her. Lin Yu, she was jealous of Yang and deliberately misled me, stopping me from coming back. She's the one who killed Yang. Yan roared furiously, still trying to get up from the ground to attack me. Zhang Jiqi's veins bulged with rage. Had his parents not been present, he would have fallen for Yan's deception. He shoved Yan to the ground and showed him a surveillance video on his phone. It was footage from the day of the incident. The video showed a child suddenly rushing over from a distance, pushing his sister-in-law down, kicking her in the stomach, and hurling vicious insults like fat cow and ugly pig at her. I was the one who anonymously sent this video to Zhang Ji. In my past life, Yan protected by Ning's nephew, the real culprit, who evaded responsibility until the day I died. This time around, I won't let him get away with it. Didn't you swear to beat the murderer who killed Yang to death? Look, this little bastard is the killer, by Pei, the son of your elder brother by Ning. Go on, beat him to death, beat him to death. Yan clutched Zhang Ji's phone, watching the video over and over. When he finally recognized the child in the footage, he shook his head and muttered, "No, it can't be. There's no way Bai Ning's nephew Xiao Pei could have done this. Someone must have manipulated him." Yan. Yang is dead. Why are you still defending outsiders? I grabbed Yang's black and white photo and thrust it toward him. Look at her. She was your own sister. Yan whirled around to face me. It has to be you. You vile woman couldn't stand seeing me with Ning, so you manipulated Xiao Pei. You were trying to kill both Ning and Yang with one stone. I let out a cold laugh. Chen Yan, you never loved me, always defending that woman. Fine, I've accepted that, but Chen Yang was your own sister, she's dead, and all you care about is Bai Ning. Do you have any humanity left in you? As my words faded, Zhang Ji let out a furious roar and began pummeling Chen Yan's face with a relentless barrage of punches. If the friends and family present hadn't intervened to pull them apart, Zhang Ji would have beaten Chen Yan to death right then and there. Everyone thought Zhang Ji was just venting his anger in a fit of rage, but I knew, he had already given up on living. He didn't resort to using a knife to hack Chen Yan to death like he did to me in the previous life. All thanks to the surveillance footage I released. Make him understand that it wasn't just Chen Yan who got Chen Yan killed. Bai Ning and her family are just as responsible. Zhang Ji, don't you dare let me down. 6. Bai Ning's young nephew, Bai Pei, had just turned 12, below the age of full criminal responsibility, so Zhang Ji didn't even bother reporting it to the police. After my sister-in-law was laid to rest, Chen Yan vanished without a trace. My mother-in-law, grieving the loss of her beloved daughter, spent her days sighing in despair. I seized the opportunity to go to the hospital and terminate the pregnancy, then checked into a rehabilitation center for a week of recovery. My mother passed away when I was young, and after my father remarried and had new children, we lost contact for a decade. I have no family left in this world. Otherwise, in my past life, the Chen family wouldn't have dared to so blatantly pin the blame on me. When I returned home from the convalescent home and opened the door, dust filled the air. Neither Chen Yan nor I had been back for the entire week. I quickly packed my clothes and documents, rented an apartment, and then hired a divorce lawyer. Mr. Wang, please draft a divorce agreement for me. I'll leave with nothing. I was afraid that given enough time, the Chen family would pin Chen Yang's death on me to protect Chen Yan's reputation. I never doubted they were capable of such a thing. In my past life, did they truly not know I was innocent? They were just feigning ignorance. When I walked into my mother-in-law's house with the divorce papers, my premonition came true. Lin Yu, how dare you show your face here? I've already spoken with Xiao Pei. It was you who put him up to pushing Yang Yang, you murderer. At 1001 hashtag, Chen Yan pointed at me and demanded sharply. My mother-in-law stared at me with disbelief, while Aunt Chen's face was filled with pure hatred. I let out a cold laugh and threw the divorce papers onto the table. Chen Yan, everyone here knows exactly how Chen Yang died. If you insist on blaming me for his death, then let's call the police. Inciting a minor to commit a crime is illegal. We can't call the police, Chen Yan retorted without a second thought. I scoffed and looked at my mother-in-law and Aunt Chen. Do you know why he won't call the police? Because it was Bai Ning who urged Bai Pei to push Chen Yang. Shut up, Lin Yu. If you keep spouting nonsense, I'll kill you, Chen Yan snarled, cutting me off. I smiled as I unlocked my phone and played the recording. Ning, is what Xiao Pei said true? Did you tell him to push Yang Yang? No, I didn't. So is Xiao Pei lying? Let's go confront him right now. No, it's not like that. Nian, I'm sorry, Yang Yang called me a homewrecker, a shameless vixen, and she hit me. Little Pei saw it all. He's just a kid. He doesn't know any better. He only wanted to stand up for his aunt. He had no idea what he was doing. He never meant to hurt Yang Yang. Yang Yang hit you. Sobbing. Nian, I never told you. We lost our baby because of Yang Yang. If it weren't for little Pei, both the baby and I would have died that day. Ning, you've been through so much. Nian, I'd endure any hardship for you. As the recording played, Chen Yan's expression shifted from anger to humiliated rage, and he lunged to snatch my phone. I dodged his grasp, took 2 steps back, and stopped the recording. Keep lying to yourself like this, Chen Yan, and you might start believing your own fabrications. Having lived through a lifetime, I know all too well how inherently selfish the Chen family is, so I naturally took precautions. During my convalescence, I hired someone to tail Bai Ning and Chen Yan, originally intending to capture some intimate photos to pressure Chen Yan into divorcing me. Little did I expect that this conversation would be recorded. 7. Chen Yan, is all this true? The mother-in-law's lips trembled as she gazed at him with clouded eyes. This time, she couldn't even deceive herself anymore. She could forgive Chen Yan because he was her own son, but what were Bai Ning and Bai Pei to her? That Chen Yan would prioritize outsiders over avenging his own sister shattered the security of this grieving mother who now had only her son to depend on. If Chen Yan would abandon his own sister for Bai Ning today, he'd just as easily discard his own mother for her tomorrow. From this moment on, it was no longer just about avenging Chen Yang or securing her own future. Her mother-in-law would never let Baining off the hook. Chen Yan, you heartless beast, sharing the same air as you makes me sick. Sign the papers. We're getting our divorce at the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. Perhaps my tone was too icy. Without a second thought, Chen Yan snapped. In your dreams, I waved my phone. You can refuse to sign, but then this recording will end up in every single person's phone you know. Chen Yan rushed forward, snatched my phone, and smashed it violently on the ground. I took a few steps back, putting distance between us. I set up a timed email delivery. If I don't cancel it by 3 p.m., it'll go straight to the Central Maternity Hospital's official website, all the major gossip accounts, and Zhang Ji, Lin Yu, why are you doing this to me? I already told you, there's nothing between me and Ning Ning. I haven't done anything to betray you. How much longer are you going to keep this up, making a scene? Chen Yan, after all this, you still think I'm upset about your affair? Is your sister's life worth so little to you? Let me make this clear. I'm divorcing you because I refuse to live with a beast who only cares about romance and neglects his own sister's life. No, Lin Yu. You're talking nonsense. I never neglected my sister. It's all because of you. You always cause trouble when I'm with Bai Ning. That's why I thought you were lying that day. Enough with the excuses. Save those lies for your sister. Hurry up and sign. We only have 10 minutes until 3 o'clock. Chen Yan's expression twisted with rage. Lin Yu, without me, you're nothing. Since you want a divorce, don't even think about taking a single penny from my family. I waved the divorce papers. I'm walking away with nothing. Sign it. Chen Yan flew into a rage when he saw the terms. He scribbled his signature and threw the papers in my face. I didn't feel humiliated. He was just a beaten dog lashing out. Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow, don't forget. I picked up the divorce papers and left without another word. Whether Chen Yan shows up at the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow is irrelevant. After my stance today, the Chen family will know my resolve to divorce and that I have no regard left for him. They won't entertain any illusions about using this marriage to control me. As for Chen Yan's fate, I've already sealed it. Frankly, staying married wouldn't be the worst outcome for him either. 8. My mother-in-law didn't keep me waiting long. She now sees Chen Yan as her sole anchor, accompanying him to work every single day, rain or shine, just to sever his ties with Bai Ning. When Chen Yan worked late, she'd camp out in his office, telling anyone who'd listen that some floozy had her sights set on him. She was so relentless that not even a female mosquito dared buzz within 3 meters of him. The mother-in-law eavesdropped on Chen Yan in the bathroom and overheard him secretly talking on the phone with Bai Ning. The mother-in-law went berserk. She gathered 6 middle-aged women, including Aunt Chen, stormed into Bai Ning's office, stripped her naked, and threw her out onto the street. Then she went to every relative of the Bai family's residence, using a loudspeaker to publicly denounce Bai Ning as a homewrecker who destroyed families and caused the death of someone's sister. Of course, Bai Pei wasn't spared either. Just as he started 6th grade, a banner was hung at the school entrance. Bai Pei from class 3, grade 6 is a murderer. When I found out my mother-in-law was behind all this, I had a good laugh. At 1001 hashtag, though these actions couldn't compare to Chen Yang's lost life in terms of real harm, they still brought me some satisfaction and made me anticipate Zhang Ji's next move even more. Zhang Ji seemed determined to uncover every detail and leave no enemy behind, which made his approach slower than my mother-in-law's. But in the final 3 days of the 1-month cooling-off period, he finally launched his revenge. He was even more ruthless than I had imagined. I thought his enemies were only Bai Ning and Bai Pei, but he broke into the Bai residence late at night and slaughtered all 6 members of the family, Bai Ning's parents, his elder brother and sister-in-law, Bai Ning himself, and Bai Pei. Among them, Bai Pei had his limbs severed and bled to death while still conscious. Bai Ning had his organs removed and his tongue cut out. The others were all killed with a single fatal stab. That night, Chen Yan was on night shift at the hospital. After Zhang Ji killed the Bai family, he used Bai Ning's phone to send Chen Yan a message. Brother Yan, I made some late-night snacks. Since your mom's here, it's not convenient for me to come up. Could you come down and get them? Chen Yan glanced at his sleeping mother and hurried downstairs. In the darkness, an expectant smile unconsciously spread across Chen Yan's face. Ning Ning, where are you? Chen Yan, you beast. You don't deserve to be Yang brother. Zhang Ji let out a furious roar, swinging his axe directly at Chen Yan. Chen Yan instinctively raised his hands to block, but the axe cleanly severed both of them. The piercing scream immediately caught the attention of the hospital security. A flashlight beam from the distance swept over, illuminating Zhang Zi's face, twisted and spattered with blood. Qin Yan convulsed in agony as Zhang Zi swung the axe again. This time striking him square in the face, the axe cleaved into his skull, and this time he didn't even let out a single scream. The elderly woman who had been stealthily following Qin Yan downstairs witnessed the entire scene, let out a shriek, and fainted. 9. I didn't get a divorce, I was widowed. My mother-in-law lost her mind. First, her daughter died a tragic death, then she witnessed her son being hacked to death. The trauma was too much for her psyche. And now she wanders around in a delirious state every day, desperately searching for her children. Zhang Zi killed 7 people in one night, 3 of whom were brutally murdered. The horrific case quickly went viral online. The incident involving Chen Yan, Bai Ning, and Chen Yang was exposed online. Even in death, Chen Yan and Bai Ning were condemned as scumbags and homewreckers. Everyone connected to the Bai family was affected, rushing to distance themselves from the scandal. Shockingly few people attended the Bai family's funeral. Netizens overwhelmingly supported Zhang Zi, but the law shows no mercy, and the best outcome Zhang Zi could hope for was a life sentence. Yet before his trial even began, he took his own life in the detention center. Zhang's parents buried him alongside Chen Yang, sold their home, and left the city that held so many painful memories. I inherited Chen Yan's estate, setting aside a portion for Aunt Chen to care for her mother-in-law. Aunt Chen spent her entire life being manipulated by the Chen family, yet she still considered her mother-in-law as one of their own. That's why she would rather work herself to death than abandon her mother-in-law. I donated all the remaining inheritance to a charity supporting single mothers, as a way to honor my unborn child. Then I left the city behind to start a new chapter in my life. In my past life, I was trapped in a living nightmare. Now I've awakened to a new dawn, with a bright future unfolding before me. Story 2. When Lu Yan stood up for the beautiful poor student for the 3rd time, he was photographed and the photo was posted on the confession wall. The comment section was full of people speaking up for me. They criticized the poor student for being shameless and deliberately seducing others. They also blamed Lu Yan for not being able to distinguish right from wrong and being deceived by the green tea bitch, a derogatory term for a scheming girl. Only I could see the seriousness and tenderness in Lu Yan's eyes. After canceling the arranged marriage, I went abroad for further studies. My friend couldn't understand it and said, "Are you scared? Can't you deal with a green tea bitch?" I shook my head. It wasn't that I was scared. No one knew that this was my 3rd rebirth. But it turned out that no matter how many times I tried, the ending was always the same. For someone who doesn't love you, even if they agree to an arranged marriage, they will only see it as a shackle. So, with mountains high and waters far, I wish Lu Yan his freedom. 1. Less than an hour after the photo was posted, a long thread of comments piled up. The most liked comment at the top was very intense. Zhou Qingzhu, do you have any shame? Aren't you tired of pestering someone else's boyfriend every day? The girl in the photo was beautiful and delicate, with red eyes. She was wearing a men's coat and timidly hiding behind a person, and that person was my boyfriend, Lu Yan. Lu Yan had a fierce look in his eyes, showing an extremely protective posture. This was already the 3rd time he had been posted on the confession wall for standing up for Zhou Qingzhu. The comment section was in a heated argument. If someone is causing trouble while drunk, call the police or the security guards. What's the use of crying? She doesn't go for the work-study program provided by the school but has to work part-time in a hotel. Hee. Instead of asking for help from her colleagues who are right beside her, she calls Lu Yan. We all know what her intentions are. The hotel is just a few steps away from the school, and there are streetlights all the way. She still pretends to be pitiful and asks Lu Yan to send her every day. I've never seen such a scheming girl. Lu Yan is also at fault. He can't tell right from wrong and is so easily deceived by this green tea bitch. I waited in the restaurant for a long time that day. I only received a text message. Jiwei, Qingzhu was scared and can't be left alone. I have to stay with her tonight, so I won't come to see you. This restaurant was a century-old establishment, and I had only managed to book a table a month in advance. At night, Zhou Qingzhu posted on Zaya Hongshu. In the photo, Zhou Qingzhu was leaning against Lu Yan with a happy smile. The background was the cinema that Lu Yan and I often went to. Watched a movie with my crush. He suggested it himself. The comments below were full of congratulations. Sister, you're amazing. According to my experience, he must have feelings for you. You're almost there, right? Zhou Qingzhu sent a shy emoji. Yeah, I looked at it for a long time and then called the restaurant. There's no need to reserve the table anymore. Yes. Cancel it. Lu Yan knew how hard it was to queue up at this restaurant, and he also knew how long I had been preparing for today, but between the restaurant and the cinema, between Lin Jiwei and Zhou Qingzhu, Lu Yan chose the latter. 2. The first time I met Zhou Qingzhu was at the school anniversary party. As soon as the beautiful poor student stepped onto the stage, I instinctively turned to look at Lu Yan. Sure enough, Lu Yan was also looking at Zhou Qingzhu. His usually cold and sharp eyes softened, and he stared intently. The girl on the stage was wearing a red dress, looking warm and bold. The surrounding voices were noisy, with exclamations and applause. The host had a clear voice and asked half-jokingly, "Qingzhu." When I first saw the program list, I thought it was a boy's name. After all, most girls' names are more gentle and elegant. Zhou Qingzhu smiled generously, with a hint of pride in her eyes. Who says a girl can't be named Qingzhu? Just like the bamboo that grows taller with each joint, I want to soar into the sky like this green bamboo. These words once again caused a round of applause. Qingzhu, so her name is Zhou Qingzhu. I heard Lu Yan beside me mutter to himself involuntarily. His eyes looking at the stage were full of admiration, and his gaze remained fixed. During the interaction session, Zhou Qingzhu smiled mischievously and pointed at Lu Yan. Then let's invite the lucky audience to come on stage and have an interaction with classmate Qingzhu. The host opened the note and read out the content drawn. Single-arm Princess Carrie. Lu Yan also stood up generously. His cheeks were slightly red, and he quickly stepped onto the stage amidst the jeers of the people around him. Lu Yan was so focused that he even forgot that I was sitting beside him. Zhou Qingzhu pretended to lose her balance and kissed Lu Yan on the left cheek. She cast a glance at me, with a provocative smile on her face. After that night, Zhou Qingzhu became famous for being a green tea bitch. My best friend was indignant. Why did she have to draw someone else's boyfriend? I think she did it on purpose. Everyone knows that you and Lu Yan are a famous couple on campus. 3. My best friend was right. In the eyes of others, Lu Yan and I were well matched. We had been engaged since childhood and were a perfect match. But no one knew that this was actually the third time I had met Lu Yan in different lives. In the first life, not long after I got married to Lu Yan, I died in a car accident before we could get to know each other well. In the second life, I didn't want to be a puppet in an arranged marriage, so I ran away. In the third year of living incognito in a small town, I was kidnapped by robbers who demanded a ransom. The incident became so big that the robbers took me into the mountains. I was beaten, insulted, and humiliated. Later, it was Lu Yan who saved me. He became a policeman and infiltrated alone, even losing an arm for it. I recognized him at first sight, but I didn't dare to speak and just pretended to be mute. Being saved by the person I had run away from in an arranged marriage made me feel ashamed and embarrassed, but Lu Yan was very kind to me. To avoid the robbers, we hid in a cave. He gave me all the food he had, fed me water, and bandaged my wounds. He also gently told me not to be afraid and that someone would come to our rescue soon. The better he treated me, the more bitter I felt in my heart, so when the robbers caught up, I rushed forward and took a knife for him. Lu Yan's face was filled with great surprise. His expression was complicated. He turned around and subdued the robber, and calmly stopped my bleeding. Lu Yan, can you promise me one thing? I spat out blood and felt my life force quickly fading away. You can say it. For the favor of saving your life, I will definitely do my best to fulfill it. I wanted to smile, but I couldn't lift the corners of my mouth. In the next life, I hope to meet you again. And I hope you will give me another chance. I shouldn't have been so willful as to run away from the arranged marriage, making Lu Yan the object of ridicule. I also shouldn't have been so willful as to go south, causing Lu Yan to get injured while saving me. I hope to meet you again in the next life, to atone for my sins and make up for my past mistakes, but now I understand that fate likes to play tricks on people and is the most heartless. In the second year after I ran away from the arranged marriage in the second life, Lu Yan officially announced his new girlfriend, who was Zhou Qingzhu. After being reborn, I accepted the arranged marriage at home. Lu Yan also obeyed his family and agreed to the arranged marriage, but it turned out that my joyous reunion was just a mistake. When the real heroine, Zhou Qingzhu, appeared, she still attracted all of Lu Yan's attention. I was like a thief. In the time when Zhou Qingzhu wasn't around, I stole the love that belonged to her, and now that the real owner was back, I looked so dark and despicable. 4. With her dance at the party, Zhou Qingzhu stole the show. From that day on, Lu Yan, who had always been reluctant to participate in activities, unexpectedly appeared at various parties, and every time Zhou Qingzhu performed, she drew Lu Yan 8 out of 10 times. As the number of times increased, it inevitably led to gossip. Some people advised Lu Yan to refuse, but Lu Yan said that refusing would hurt the girl's feelings. Zhou Qingzhu didn't care at all. Even when she was called a green tea bitch to her face, she still smiled. The most excessive time was when the host egged them on to have a French kiss on the spot. The two on the stage, with the red dress and the black clothes, looked incredibly well matched. Yao Yao, I'm going back to the dormitory first. If Lu Yan asks later, just tell him that I'm not feeling well and left first. Ji Wei, Chen Yao, my best friend, hesitated to speak. I then realized that without realizing it, my nails had dug several blood marks on my arm. This was a bad habit I had developed when I was anxious as a child. I silently raised my head and happened to meet Lu Yan's gaze. Lu Yan gently put his arm around the girl's waist to steady her. When he met my gaze, Lu Yan instinctively let go and frowned. He seemed to want to say something, but I had already turned around and left. When I walked out of the auditorium, I let out a sigh and threw the bracelet on my wrist into the lake with force. This was a gift that Lu Yan gave me when he first officially announced our relationship on his WeChat Moments. I cherished it very much and wore it every day. It had almost become my symbol, but just now, I also saw the same bracelet on Zhou Qingzhu's wrist. This brand was expensive and luxurious, a price that a poor student couldn't afford. It was easy to figure out who gave it to her. Zhou Qingzhu not only wanted Lu Yan to choose her between me and her but also wanted to take away the things that Lu Yan had given me. Perhaps, from the moment she appeared, I had already lost. 5. The photo on the confession wall was suddenly deleted by force after hanging there for half a day. It was Lu Yan who did it. When he called me, his tone was very cold. Did you deliberately ask someone to lead the rhythm in the comments? How long had it been since I heard him speak to me so impatiently? No, Lu Yan didn't believe me. Several of the accounts below are your friends. Did you or didn't you ask them to do it? There were more than 500 comments, and only 2 were posted by my friends who couldn't stand it. Now Lu Yan was putting all the blame on me. I could hear the faint crying of the girl on the other end of the phone, accompanied by Lu Yan's gentle comfort. He was so gentle with Zhou Qingzhu, but when he turned to me, he was aggressive. I'll let it go this time. Don't do this again in the future. You're also a girl. Even if you're jealous, there's no need to be so vicious. Lin Ji Wei, you've disappointed me so much. You're completely different from the person I first met. After hanging up the phone, I sat at the table in a daze. The person he first met. What was Lu Yan's impression of me at that time? At that time, the college entrance examination had just ended, and the Lu family had moved from the south to the north for development. The two families got together to discuss the engagement matters. The Lu family's intention was for me and Lu Yan to apply to the same university to cultivate our relationship, get engaged after graduation, and get married the next year. When there were only the 2 of us left in the private room, Lin Ji Wei, just by hearing the name, I can tell you're a boring person. This was the first sentence Lu Yan said to me. He asked me, racing, rock climbing, skiing, what can you do? I shook my head. My health isn't very good, and my family doesn't allow me to participate in these dangerous sports. Lu Yan was handsome and smiled casually. Oh, I see, you young ladies like those refined things, piano, or painting. I could hear the sarcasm in Lu Yan's tone. He lifted my chin and commented, you look quite cute, but unfortunately, I like wild girls. That night, my joyous reunion was met with Lu Yan's contempt. I had made a lot of efforts because of Lu Yan's words. I wore smoky makeup, sexy halter tops, and learned dynamic dance. I made a mess of myself just for that word wild, but it wasn't until I saw Zhou Qingzhu that I understood what Lu Yan meant by that. The wild he mentioned turned out to mean confident, bold, warm, and daring, and I was gentle and liked to be quiet, which was exactly the type that Lu Yan disliked the most. I once felt complacent that I had spent 3 years making Lu Yan gentle towards me. But it turned out that someone could get his favor just by the first impression. 6. The more you try to silence people, the more rebellious they will become. The confession wall photo was deleted, but the school forum spread the news even more vigorously, especially when someone happened to see Zhou Qingzhu and Lu Yan sharing an ice cream. Perhaps it was out of a sense of justice, or perhaps it was to fan the flames. In the end, Zhou Qingzhu was pushed to the center of the storm and became a mistress that everyone despised. When she came to me with red eyes, she couldn't control her emotions and shouted, "How embarrassed I am now, how glorious you are. Everyone who sees me can scold me, your classmates stand up for you, your friends speak up for you, the whole world is on your side. are you only satisfied when I'm completely disgraced? I was silent for a long time in the face of such accusations. Although it seemed that I had won a great victory in this public opinion battle, in fact, I looked at Zhou Qingzhu and said softly, even if the whole world supports and protects me, Lu Yan is on your side, right? The next day, all the related posts on the school forum were deleted. Lu Yan posted a status, taking all the public opinion blame on himself. Zhou Qingzhu was portrayed as a tough and self-reliant poor student. Lu Yan admired her, so he was willing to lend a helping hand. Even to clear her name as a mistress, Lu Yan said that he had already broken up with me privately and was currently single. As soon as this statement was made, the public opinion instantly reversed. Lu Yan came to me, and his tone was a bit unnatural. It's just a temporary solution, it's a fake breakup. When the public opinion calms down, we can get back together, otherwise, there's no way. I interrupted him. There's no way to explain sharing an ice cream. And there's no way to explain going racing together in couple outfits, right? Lu Yan suddenly raised his head, and his tone became stern. How do you know? Did you secretly follow me? I didn't say anything. There was no need to follow him. Lu Yan's group of friends had never liked me and had always excluded me, so when Zhou Qingzhu appeared, there were always people who would take the initiative to tell me and make fun of me. My best friend was so angry that she was shaking when she saw it. They've only known each other for a few days, and he's already taking her racing, and she's sitting on Lu Yan's most precious motorcycle. As she spoke, my best friend's eyes turned red, and her voice choked up. Back then, when you just wanted to touch it, you were scolded so harshly. How can she get on it so easily now? 7. I thought back to that motorcycle. Its body was sleek, and it was very expensive, just as arrogant and sharp as its owner. At that time, I had been dating Lu Yan for a year. When he went racing, I would sit beside him and read quietly. When he went skiing, I would prepare hot tea for him to moisten his throat. Lu Yan went from being disgusted at first to finally acquiescing and indulging. Later, he would even take the initiative to invite me to watch a play or go to a bookstore. Your young lady's temper is actually quite good. Lu Yan's tone was hard to decipher. I knew he wasn't really praising me, so I just smiled gently. Once, when he was racing, he suddenly asked me, "Do you dare to get on?" I shook my head. My health wasn't good, and my family had never allowed me to participate in such intense sports. Lu Yan sneered and said, "You're such a coward. At worst, I'll ride slowly and make sure I don't scare you." Just then, Lu Yan's friends happened to come over. They saw Lu Yan leaning against the car, and I was standing beside him quietly. Then they started winking and laughing. "Brother Lu, you're going to take sister-in-law for a ride. You even brought out this car. You're really willing to part with it." Someone beside them chimed in. "This car is your baby. You never use it except for top-level competitions. We're not even allowed to try it usually." Sure enough, things are different when you have a wife. Before, Brother Lu treated the car like his wife. Now that his real wife is here, of course, sister-in-law is more important now. Ha ha ha, I blushed from the teasing. I didn't know that this car was so important to Lu Yan. Just as I was about to refuse, I heard Lu Yan's cold tone first. "Who said I'm taking her? She's a delicate young lady. As soon as she sits on it, her legs will go weak from fear. My car isn't for just anyone to touch." The few people were a bit embarrassed by Lu Yan's merciless words. After making some awkward jokes, they quickly left. After everyone left, Lu Yan called out to me, as if he wanted to say something. But I waited for a long time, and there was no follow-up. I sighed and said, "Don't worry, although I have an engagement with you, I'm not an unreasonable person. I won't threaten you in the name of your girlfriend. If you don't want me to, I won't have any contact with this car." Lu Yan stared at me for a while before looking away, and his tone was even colder than before. "Good that you know." 8. It turned out that Lu Yan wasn't that cold to everyone. The racing incident was just the beginning. During the break, Lu Yan's brothers pulled me into a group chat and eagerly reported one after another. "It was my birthday last week. Lu Yan said he would bring his female companion. I thought it was you, but it turned out to be Zhou Qingzhu. She even gave a gift in the manner of a legitimate girlfriend." Lin Jiwei, what's going on with you? Are you being bullied like this by a poor student? Not only that, I also ran into the two of them while shopping yesterday. A man made some flirtatious remarks to Zhou Qingzhu. Lu Yan's face turned so dark that he almost beat the guy to death. TSK. He looked like his wife had been harassed. However, I think Zhou Qingzhu is quite nice. She's beautiful, has a hot figure, can act coquettishly and be tough. She goes bungee jumping and rock climbing with Lu Yan without missing any of them. Their personalities really match, look. He's always bringing Zhou Qingzhu around recently and hasn't taken Lin Jiwei, the legitimate girlfriend, out for a long time. After hundreds of messages flooded the screen, everyone seemed to realize that I hadn't said anything. They pretended to console me. Of course, Jiwei, we're still on your side. After all, everything should follow the order of first come, first served. That's right. You've had an engagement with Lu Yan since childhood, and your families are well matched. How long can that poor student be proud of with her green tea tricks? Lu Yan has just been bewitched. He'll come to his senses in a few days. There wasn't much sincerity in these consolations. I knew they were waiting to see me make a fool of myself, waiting for me to break down and go crazy. They were waiting for me to teach the green tea bitch a lesson and watching me have a huge fight with Zhou Qingzhu, but this time they were all wrong. I sent a message to Lu Yan with just 3 short words, let's break up. 9. After class, I returned to the dormitory. There was a thermal box on my desk. When I opened it, a delicious aroma filled the air. My roommates looked at the thermal box in front of me with envy in their voices. Lu Yan had someone bring this at noon. He said it would be just right for you to drink when you got back from class. Lu Yan is so good to you. Even though he's not at school, he still remembers to send you something. That's right, he's much better than my boyfriend. Last time I asked him to bring me milk tea, and he actually refused because it was too far away. There were rumors on campus about the ambiguity between Zhou Qingzhu and Lu Yan. Some people specifically came to remind me to be careful not to be stolen from, lose my boyfriend, but my roommates didn't take it to heart, especially when they saw the thermal box in front of me at this moment. They were even more dismissive. Jiwei, have more confidence in yourself. In terms of family background and appearance, which aspect of you isn't outstanding? Even Lu Yan, who was so cold and irritable at the beginning, is now tamed by you like a dog. Don't worry, that little green tea bitch Zhou Qingzhu won't amount to anything. No one believed that I would lose to a poor student. Everyone was certain that I would win a great victory. But the breakup text message was really sent out. And I had really decided to give up. I had naively thought that being reborn was a gift from heaven. But it turned out that no matter how many times I tried, the ending was the same. For someone who doesn't love you, even if they agree to an arranged marriage, they will only see it as a shackle. So, with mountains high and waters far, I wish Lu Yan his freedom. 10. Until evening, Lu Yan didn't reply to my message. Someone knocked on the door and said that someone was looking for me downstairs. I had a premonition in my heart. When I went downstairs, I indeed saw a familiar figure. As soon as Lu Yan saw me, he walked quickly towards me. Why did you come out like this? Your health isn't good, and you can't catch a cold at night. Lu Yan took off his coat and wanted to put it on me, but I, who had always been obedient, didn't take it this time. As I stepped back, Lu Yan's coat fell to the ground. His face froze for a moment, but he quickly acted as if nothing had happened. By the way, I specially made soup for you. You saw it, right? It's good for your health. If you like it, I'll send it to you again tomorrow. Lu Yan, I interrupted him and said calmly, didn't you see the text message I sent you? Lu Yan paused for a moment but didn't answer. Instead, he just said to himself, I've been very busy these days and haven't been able to accompany you, but I'll be free later. You've always wanted to go to that restaurant, right? I'll go with you. We can also go on a trip and go to the beach later. I'll accompany you to pick up seashells. Okay. I couldn't understand how Lu Yan could say these words without blushing. No, I took a step back, stared at Lu Yan, and said word by word, these are things that lovers should do. We've already broken up. As soon as the words fell, the air around us seemed to freeze. Lu Yan's face lost its smile, and the moonlight cast shadows on his face through the leaves. He had a blank expression, a calm tone, but it was rather eerie. Lin Jiwei, I didn't agree. Take back those words. 11. But I didn't move. I still said the same thing. We've already broken up. Lu Yan punched the tree beside him. What on earth are you making a fuss about? He strode forward. His grip on my wrist was very strong. And it hurt. I struggled, and my wrist hurt so much that I couldn't help but cry out in pain. Lu Yan relaxed his strength a bit, kneaded the red mark on my wrist, and his tone calmed down. Is it because of the rumors on campus? Or did my friend say something bad again? Lu Yan seemed to have figured it out and became confident. Or is it because of Zhou Qingzhu? Her family situation isn't good, and she's been taking on various part-time jobs. I didn't expect to see her at the ski resort. And she even has excellent skills. When we met on the street that day, she was harassed, and of course I had to step in. I would help any girl in that situation. I knew I couldn't break free by force, so I stopped struggling and said softly, "Please let go of me first." Sure enough, being submissive was more effective than being tough. Lu Yan released the arms that had trapped me. I took a deep breath. I'm not throwing a tantrum. You don't need to explain these things to me either. I'm not being impulsive. I've thought about it for a long time these days, and we're really not suitable for each other. Neither of us said anything, and the air was eerily quiet. I exhaled and continued. Moreover, our relationship was originally a combination of interests. When we first met, you didn't like me either. It's been 3 years of entanglement, and it's been a last resort, so cancel the arranged marriage and let's break up. This is better for both of us. It was hard to describe Lu Yan's expression at this moment. He stared at me for a long time, as if he had sensed the determination in my tone. A sneer suddenly rang out. Lu Yan raised his chin, and all the angry questions from before seemed to disappear. He was still in control of the situation, looking down on me from above. Break up. The word being dumped doesn't exist in my Lu Yan's dictionary. If we cancel the arranged marriage, you remember. It's the Lu family that doesn't want you because you're arrogant, picky, and narrow-minded. Lu Yan's gaze seemed to want to devour me, and his tone was extremely harsh. Moreover, for a woman that I, Lu Yan, don't want, I'd like to see who in the circle dares to take her. Your Lin family wants to expand into the northern market, right? Without the arranged marriage, I'm afraid you'll have to pay an even more astonishing price. After saying these words, it was obvious that Lu Yan had completely gained the upper hand. He lifted my chin, with a mischievous smile, as if casually. Lin Jiwei, I can pretend that these words today never existed. You're still my girlfriend, and I'll still marry you after graduation, and I'll still help the Lin family. As far as I know, the Lin family has put a lot of effort into you, right? Your father still has several illegitimate daughters outside. Do you want to be a stable and wealthy Mrs. Lu? Or be an abandoned child hated by the Lin family? You can choose for yourself. I looked at Lu Yan quietly. We've been in a relationship for 3 years. Can't you even leave me with the last bit of dignity? Lu Yan's expression froze for a moment, and he almost turned his head away in embarrassment. He covered my eyes. Jiwei, don't look at me with that kind of gaze. Lu Yan's voice was muffled, and his throat was hoarse. I said that this matter is over. Let's go back to the way we were before. Okay, the marriage alliance between the Lin and Lu families won't change, and I'm still your boyfriend. 12, of course, it's not okay. I was very puzzled. Why was Lu Yan so certain that I would give in? Do you remember the words you said when we first met? What are you doing putting on such an act now? You disliked my poor health and my quiet and boring personality. In your eyes, being obedient is a derogatory term. You like excitement and wild personalities. You want someone to accompany you in racing, skiing, and doing all kinds of exciting sports, and I'm the one who least meets the requirements. Companionship off the field can't compare to the mutual understanding on the field. The racetrack is very noisy, and the ski resort is also very cold. Reading a book there is the most unsuitable choice. Lu Yan looked up, and his face was rarely stunned. I was also looking at him, and my tone was very soft. I don't want to read a book by the side anymore, and I don't want to accompany you either. 13. Lu Yan and I were at a stalemate for a long time, until he left. He still didn't agree to cancel the arranged marriage. We no longer went to class together, and we no longer had meals together. When Lu Yan played basketball, I no longer wiped his sweat or handed him water. When I painted in the classroom, Lu Yan no longer appeared by my side. Some nosy people couldn't help but ask Lu Yan if he had quarreled with me. Lu Yan didn't even lift his head and just sneered. Since he didn't respond, naturally someone would come to ask me. I smiled gently. Yes, we broke up. So you broke up, I thought. Broke up. Soon, this news spread throughout the campus. There were high-profile posts on the forum, and the most popular post had the title, "I hate this world where green tea bitches are in power. They've destroyed another one of my favorite couples again." It was filled with a lot of photos. There were photos of Lu Yan giving a princess carry on the stage and photos of Zhou Qingzhu deliberately kissing his cheek. The comments below were indignant, full of pity and sympathy for me. Lu Yan probably didn't expect that I would directly say the words of breaking up. He sent me a message with just a few short words. Lin Jiwei, you have a heartless enough. I soon knew why Lu Yan sent this message, because he would do something even more ruthless than me. 14. Lu Yan directly posted a status on WeChat Moments. From now on, anyone who dares to date Lin Jiwei is against me. This short sentence triggered countless intense speculations. Some people said that Lu Yan and I just had a quarrel and would get back together once the anger subsided. Others said that Lu Yan hated me and wouldn't let me go even after we broke up. No matter what people speculated, it was obvious that this WeChat Moments post had a great effect. Lu Yan had a good family background, many friends, and a hot temper, and few people dared to offend him. After that day, no boy dared to get within 5 meters of me. Especially after a boy accidentally bumped into me and was severely taught a lesson by Lu Yan, the boys didn't even dare to talk to me. Lu Yan's friends made a big fuss in the group chat. Lin Jiwei, seriously, you really broke up, you're using retreat as an advance, but Lu Yan isn't someone who can be threatened, be careful that he gets too angry and really abandons you. Lu Yan's friends really knew him best. After I publicly announced the breakup, Lu Yan held a single party the next moment. He invited the whole class to Disneyland to celebrate his return to being single. He was telling me in this way that I shouldn't play around and say we're breaking up because he would do something even more ruthless than me. The two of us were like we were competing, both trying to act as if we didn't care, but I really didn't care anymore and didn't pretend either. A classmate sent me an audio recording. It was from the single party. The voices in the audio were noisy. Someone couldn't help but ask, Lu Yan, the little girlfriend arranged for you by your family is both obedient and beautiful. Why did you break up with her so easily? You really don't know how lucky you are. That's right. If Lin Jiwei were my girlfriend, I'd definitely stick with her every day. Her looks are really amazing. Could it really be because of Zhou Qingzhu? I have to say something about you. It's okay to play around with a green tea bitch, but if you really want to marry someone, it should be someone like Lin Jiwei with a well-matched family background. The few people were teasing each other, and their voices sounded very young. Okay, Lu Yan's voice was drunk. If you want her, go ahead and take her. That kind of young lady is delicate and boring. She only knows how to read and study and has no fun at all. Moreover, she has asthma and can't do any intense exercise. These words were ambiguous, and there was a burst of laughter in the room. What kind of exercise? Lu Yan, don't leave us hanging. Intense, then wouldn't even a kiss be life-threatening? Seriously, you can only look but not touch. That's really, I'd rather not have a girlfriend than find a young lady like that. I turned off the audio and didn't listen to the rest. The study abroad application in front of me had already been filled out. I received a call on my phone from my father, and his tone was cold. Come home. Look at the good thing you've done. 15. When I got home, I was punished to kneel in the living room. My father was so angry that his eyes seemed to be on fire. He took a bamboo board and whipped it at me. He cursed me for not knowing what was good for me and for not trying to please Lu Yan properly. My mother had always been timid, but this time she unexpectedly threw herself on me. Even so, my father didn't hold back. My mother protected me, and the bamboo board landed heavily on her thin and weak back. I stood up, not knowing where I got the courage from, and grabbed the wooden board and threw it out fiercely. Two pairs of similar eyes stared at each other across the air. My father's eyes widened in shock, and he could hardly catch his breath, as if he had aged in an instant. He sat down wearily. Jiwei, do you know how many benefits the Lin family can get from the marriage alliance with the Lu family? He must have had someone investigate the whole story. And his voice softened a bit. Zhou Qingzhu, that poor student, is nothing to worry about. The Lin family has trained you for so many years. If you can't even deal with someone like her, you'll really disappoint me. I looked at him coldly. But why should I fight with her? Was it to compete for Lu Yan? To fight for a man who didn't love me? My tone was indifferent. Father, didn't you already leave a backup plan? How many illegitimate daughters are you hiding outside? 2 or 3? To you, I'm just a tool. These words completely enraged my father. He called in the security guards, and 2 people held me down while they whipped me until my back was covered in blood. I was punished to kneel all night, and in the middle of the night, I couldn't hold on and developed a high fever. When I woke up, I saw my mother's red and swollen eyes. My mother had lived a hard life. She was timid by nature, didn't like to compete, and was content with the status quo. So she endured my father's infidelity and domestic violence in silence. But now, she held my hand and said firmly, Jiwei, I saw your application for studying abroad. Mom will go abroad with you. As if to comfort me, my mother tried to force a smile. I've already secretly been looking for a lawyer to prepare for things like property and equity. I've been ready to get a divorce for a long time, but at that time, you still had the marriage with the Lu family. I could tell that you liked that boy from the Lu family, right? My mother's voice was so gentle, but I felt like crying when I heard it. It turned out that it wasn't just me who was trapped in these 3 years, but also my mother. I shook my head. I don't like him anymore. I diluted the little bit of sweetness from the previous life and drank it for 3 whole years. I drank until there was no sweetness left. Until I no longer wanted to deceive myself, the sweet water was gone. And my fate with Lu Yan was also over. 16. I booked a flight for next week. While packing my things, I received a phone call. It was one of Lu Yan's friends, and his tone was a bit dissatisfied. "Hey, Lin Jiwei, it's okay to have a little tantrum, but don't overdo it. Don't make things ugly for everyone. Zhou Qingzhu, that little green tea bitch, disgusts me to death. Come back quickly. Oh, and remember to bring more beef jerky." It turned out that the last sentence was the key point. I like to be quiet, and in my free time I would study cooking. In order to fit into Lu Yan's circle of friends, I tried hard to please them. I would always prepare for a long time in advance, until my back ached from exhaustion, just to get their approval. But now, I'm not that stupid anymore. Buy it yourself if you want to eat it. I've already broken up with Lu Yan. Don't contact me again in the future. After saying that, without waiting for the other person's reply, I blocked him directly. In the afternoon, I suddenly received a takeout. It was a particularly beautiful and fresh bunch of yellow roses. I called the number of the sender, and it turned out to be Lu Yan. The moment I heard his voice, I wanted to hang up the phone, but looking at the roses in my arms, I pursed my lips. "Did you send the flowers?" Lu Yan must have been smoking, as I heard the sound of a lighter. After a while, his voice came over, as if he didn't care at all. "What flowers? Are they nice?" I didn't know what kind of game Lu Yan was playing this time. I replied calmly, "They're not nice. Don't send any more. Even if I throw them away, it will cause trouble for others." There was a moment of silence on the other end, and then Lu Yan's voice sounded, "Lin Jiwei, don't you think I sent you the flowers?" His tone was extremely exaggerated, as if he had heard a very funny joke. "I just wrote the wrong address. You don't think I still have feelings for you after we broke up, do you?" I nodded in understanding. They were meant for Zhou Qingzhu, right? She should like them. "I wish you both happiness and a long and happy marriage." My words somehow annoyed Lu Yan again. The pretense of being indifferent was gone, and his tone was a bit irritated. "Is it interesting, hiding at home all day and not showing your face, and saying such mean words to provoke me? Lin Jiwei, you really know how to make me angry." I didn't understand how the words of wishing him and Zhou Qingzhu happiness were mean. Lu Yan took a few deep breaths, and his tone calmed down. "I don't believe you can hide at home for the rest of your life. I'll settle the score with you on the day of the graduation ceremony." Lu Yan hung up the phone after saying that. I pursed my lips, a bit stunned, but Lu Yan was wrong. I had already booked my flight ticket. I wouldn't go to the graduation ceremony, and he wouldn't be able to take revenge on me in person. 17. As soon as the plane landed, I saw the person who came to pick us up. My mother had already bought a house abroad, and it had been cleaned up. When I woke up from my sleep, I received a message from my best friend. She patted her chest and promised, "Jiwei, don't worry, on the day of the graduation ceremony, I'll pick up your graduation certificate for you." I smiled and said thank you again. There were still a few months before the foreign school started. During this period, I decided to explore the surroundings and see what parks and delicious restaurants were nearby. When I was bored and scrolling through Xiaohongshu, I came across Zhou Qingzhu's post again. The picture was a large bunch of red roses. The title of the post revealed a hint of shyness. "Sent by my crush." What does this mean? The comment section exploded, and people joked with her. "Sister, in your city, do you call your partner crush? What does it mean?" "It means he likes you." If this isn't love, I'll stand on my head and wash my hair. No way, no way. There are already roses, and you're still not together. This guy is so shy. Zhou Qingzhu replied quickly, "We're not together yet, but I heard he will confess to me at the graduation ceremony." The comment section was filled with comments about how romantic it was. Zhou Qingzhu sent a shy emoji. "I'll post one last post on the day of the graduation ceremony, and then the crush series will end." Happy. It has to be said that big data is really powerful. I don't have Zhou Qingzhu's contact information, but every post she makes gets pushed in front of me. Before, I would feel stuffy in my chest, sad, and uneasy when I saw her posts, but now, I didn't feel the slightest bit of disturbance. The graduation ceremony. A public confession. Zhou Qingzhu's crush series ended completely. I also completely let go of the feelings for those 3 years. 18. Soon, the day of the graduation ceremony arrived. My best friend livestreamed for me and showed me the graduation certificate and degree certificate she picked up on my behalf. Time really flies. In the blink of an eye, we've graduated from university. After chatting with my best friend for a few words, I heard the noise behind her, the camera turned, and I saw Luyan's stiff face. His hair was swept up, revealing his handsome eyebrows and eyes. He seemed to have dressed up carefully, but for some reason, he looked restless and kept looking around, as if searching for something. I heard someone beside him urging, "Brother Lu, it's time to confess." Not far from him, Zhou Qingzhu was wearing a dress and had a delicate makeup. She looked towards Luyan's direction from time to time, with a shy look in her eyes. My best friend joined me in watching the drama. I heard that Luyan is going to confess to Zhou Qingzhu. He ordered 999 roses yesterday, and it's going to happen on the playground. But it's strange. Usually, for a confession, people use red roses, but Luyan bought all yellow roses instead. I thought of the flowers that were sent to the wrong address that afternoon and understood, maybe Zhou Qingzhu likes them, so he could ignore the worldly rules and just send her the flowers she liked. My best friend sighed. I don't understand the taste of rich people. In my opinion, it would be better to buy 999 boxes of chocolates. It not only represents love but also isn't a waste. After looking at the certificates, I turned off the live stream. I didn't want to have anything to do with Luyan anymore, and I didn't want to see Zhou Qingzhu looking complacent either. How they confessed and how intimate and romantic they were had nothing to do with me anymore. 19. But even though I didn't want to pay attention, I would always find out for other reasons. After blocking Zhou Qingzhu's main account, Big Data pushed her secondary account to me. Sure enough, just as she said, Luyan confessed to her with 999 roses at the graduation ceremony. In the photo, the two of them were huddled together, looking very intimate, but Zhou Qingzhu was holding the yellow roses. Although she tried to raise the corners of her mouth, her smile looked forced, and Luyan had a blank expression. Looking towards the school gate and not knowing what he was thinking, the secondary account didn't update very frequently, probably once a week. At first, the tone was excited and happy. Went to the aquarium with my boyfriend and saw the cute jellyfish babies. Went to a popular internet-famous restaurant with my boyfriend today. The food was really good. Sent my boyfriend a loving late-night snack. I'll also make loving breakfasts for him in the future. Hee. Later. The updates became more and more mean and angry. Was called a mistress by that bitch's friend again today. It's so funny, the one who isn't loved is the mistress. I just came along a bit late. My boyfriend has been more and more perfunctory towards me recently. No wonder he was bewitched by that fox outside. Hee. If I catch her, she won't get away with it. I want to kill someone. Why does he still call that bitch's name when he's drunk? We're clearly together, so why does he still think of someone else? No matter what, he's still mine now. There's no way he can go abroad to find that bitch. It's so funny, since I could snatch him away back then, I can keep him now. The updates became slower and slower later, and each post showed a kind of hysteria. And just a week ago, Zhou Qingzhu posted her last post. It was very calm, with just a short line of words, "We broke up." He proposed it, and I agreed. 20. The day I returned to China was a rainy day. My father was seriously ill and wanted to see me one last time. I agreed. After this meeting, the father-daughter relationship in this life would come to an end. I didn't expect to see Luyan outside the ward. He had lost weight, although he was still handsome. There was a hint of decadence between his eyebrows and eyes. He looked at me, hesitated, and stepped forward to ask me, "Jiwei, long time no see, can we talk?" Standing on the balcony of the hospital, I looked at the raindrops outside the window. "Just say what you want to say directly." Luyan was silent for a long time before his voice trembled. "You know who the 999 yellow roses at the graduation ceremony were prepared for. The language of yellow roses is an apology. Jiwei, the person I was waiting for that day was always you." I turned to look at Luyan. Luyan stood stiffly, stubbornly staring at me. "I don't know." I repeated it again. "I don't know, Luyan, I'm not a god, I can't guess everything. Maybe I guessed that the yellow roses sent as takeout that afternoon were for me, so I didn't throw them away immediately but called to ask." But Luyan never knew how to speak properly. He couldn't let go of his pride and wouldn't bow his head. He always used hurtful words to hide his true feelings, so he said they were for Zhou Qingzhu. Why shouldn't I believe him? Luyan's eyes turned red all of a sudden. 3 years, Jiwei. We were together for 3 years, why won't you give me a chance? Just because of Zhou Qingzhu, you made trouble with me, cancelled the marriage alliance, and went abroad. Is this what you call love for me, Lin Jiwei? Your love can't stand the test. You don't love me as much as you think you do. It turned out that when a person was extremely angry, they really could laugh. You say I don't love you, you question my feelings. Then what about you? Do you love me? For 3 years, I, who hated extreme sports so much, accompanied you for a whole 3 years. The ski resort is very cold, and the wind at the bungee jumping spot is also very strong. If there wasn't love, what was my sacrifice in these 3 years? You said the roses were for me, but since I didn't come, you still gave them to Zhou Qingzhu. Lu Yan, your love is very cheap, it can be divided in two, and there's always a backup. Lu Yan stood there for a long time, as if struck by lightning. I thought you always came to me because you were threatened by your family. Every time you appeared, you attracted everyone's attention. My friends seemed indifferent to you on the surface, but actually they chased after me for your contact information. I was just uneasy. A person like you, why would you fall in love with me? Love at first sight, that reason is too cheap. Tears fell from the corners of Lu Yan's eyes, and he stared at me stubbornly. So I used Zhou Qingzhu to test you. If you could tolerate her and still not leave me, then I could truly feel at ease in my heart. My heart ached. I never thought it would be this reason. Lu Yan didn't know about our previous lives and didn't believe in my feelings, so he tested me with such hurtful methods again and again, forcing me to give in and back down. But people's hearts are made of flesh. I couldn't always guess Lu Yan's thoughts correctly. Well, with mountains high and waters far, I wish Lu Yan his freedom. I'm feeling tired, I said, not wanting to argue with Lu Yan anymore. After walking out for a long time, Lu Yan's trembling voice came. Can't we really start over? I turned around and shook my head. Lu Yan's face instantly fell. You don't want my roses, and you don't want me either. If a few roses were supposed to offset the countless sorrows and grievances in the past, then I'd rather not have them. I don't regret my past with Lu Yan. It's a part of my life that has made me who I am. But I need to look forward even more. Once a rose is picked, it will wither. Once something hurtful is done, there will be scars, and I will plant my own roses that will never wither. Story 2. After the female lead's death, Hu Qing, the crown prince of the Hu family who was once clear as the breeze and bright as the moon, began to indulge in drinking, racing, and hating me. Hu Qing hated me and had me confined. On the anniversary of the female lead's death every year, late at night, he would come to torment me over and over again. Yuan Jiaojiao. Why wasn't it you who died? Later on, I really did die. After my death, I was reborn and returned to 10 years ago. At that time, the female lead was still alive. I took the initiative to break up, to let him have his love, but he burst into my home like a madman. His eyes were bloodshot and obsessive. Yuan Jiaojiao, you are mine, you were in the past life. And in this life, you cannot think of leaving me. 01. Only when I died in childbirth did I realize that the world I was in was a tragic novel. I was the villainous side character who prevented the main characters from being together. Even though I grew up as childhood sweethearts with the male lead and eventually married him, I never won his heart. In the end, I died in the delivery room trying to bear his child. Yuan Jiaojiao, you are not allowed to die. Why do you die when I haven't tormented you enough? I drifted aside while Hu Qing frantically shook my corpse on the hospital bed. He truly hated me. If given another chance, I would definitely not fall for him again. With this thought, I found myself swept away by a tremendous force. When I woke up, I was in the old Yuan family mansion, in a pure white princess room arranged by my parents. The girl in the mirror was young and fresh, with a tender and naive face. I was back to 10 years ago. There was a missed call from Hu Qing on my phone. And for the first time, I did not call him back. 02. My name is Yuan Jiaojiao, the only daughter of the Yuan family in the capital. Raised with utmost affection and indulgence, my engagement to Hu Qing was verbally agreed upon in our childhood. Our elders assumed that once we graduated, they would hold an engagement ceremony for us. After getting engaged, they sent us abroad together for postgraduate studies. After completing our studies, we were to marry and each inherit our family's businesses. A perfect match, childhood sweethearts. According to the elders, Hu Qing and I would be the most envied and happy couple in the capital's social circles. But then Chu Lin appeared. From the moment she entered school, she fell for Hu Qing, despite him already having a girlfriend. She approached him relentlessly, pursuing him. Initially, when Chu Lin confessed her feelings, Hu Qing, with a furrowed brow, told her he had a girlfriend and even pulled me in front of her to show. Later, when Chu Lin gave up on him, he began to feel anxious and insecure. He said he had never seen a woman as carefree as Chu Lin. Gradually, he lost himself in Chu Lin's relentless pursuit. Chu Lin, like a blazing fire, rolled through Hu Cheng's life, which should have been smooth and prosperous, leaving it completely unrecognizable. Even after her death, he remembered her for a lifetime, and he hated me for a lifetime, tormenting me for a lifetime. 03. In this life, the female lead Chu Lin still appeared. On the first day of school, she arrived at the school gate riding a Harley. In February, she wore a black tight sweater and skinny jeans, her chestnut short hair framing her face, capturing the attention of all the boys with just one glance, including my boyfriend, Hu Cheng. Hu Cheng. Do you think she's beautiful? I suddenly became curious, a question I had never asked in my previous life. Too ostentatious, I don't like it, Hu Cheng replied almost without thinking. A friend joked, in Hu Cheng's heart, you're the most beautiful. Hu Cheng didn't argue but merely hooked his lips lightly. In the eyes of our friends, this was an affirmation. They held in excitement. Hu Cheng, you're so whipped. Jiao Jiao is blushing. Hu Cheng is definitely going to be whipped by his girlfriend, and surely by his wife later. Hu Cheng let them tease, slightly bowed his head to tuck my stray hair behind my ear, and I shyly lowered my head in response. In my ears, the sound of Hu Cheng's heartbeat, the laughter and teasing of friends, was like the most passionate youth anthem of a summer day, yet my mood was as cold as ice. The chill was bone-piercing. Just moments ago, when Chu Lin smiled, I witnessed the astonishment in Hu Cheng's eyes. It was brief, but it was a look I had only seen once before. At my 16th birthday party, Hu Cheng attended with the elders of the Hu family. Encouraged by my mother, I performed a solo dance to Swan Lake. That night, Hu Cheng found me in the glass room under the moonlight. He said, Yuan Jiao Jiao, your ballet just now was the most beautiful dance I have ever seen. I believed him, my face flushing red under the moonlight. But as it turned out, there is no most beautiful. Chu Lin's cha-cha at the school anniversary entered his heart and stayed there for a lifetime. As expected, Chu Lin was set to perform at this year's school anniversary celebration. I suddenly became curious. What would the outcome of this life be if I hadn't stubbornly pursued a relationship with Hu Cheng? When the list of hosts for the anniversary was confirmed, and Hu Cheng was one of them, he invited me to co-host. I declined, citing a busy academic schedule. My roommate mentioned that a freshman from the performing arts department was on the list of hosts, and I just smiled faintly. Chu Lin wouldn't miss any opportunity to get close to Hu Cheng. I didn't attend the celebration. I could list all the performances with my eyes closed. The celebration ended at 10:30 p.m., and my roommates returned early, their faces pale, sitting down to tell me in shock about the horrific scene of Chu Lin covered in blood from a light fixture falling on her. On the outside, I showed a shocked expression, but inside, I was unmoved. No one knew better than me how painful it was to have lights fall on one's legs, because in a past life, it was I who lay in a pool of blood, and Chu Lin was the instigator. She had timed it hoping to hit Hu Cheng, who was co-hosting with her, and then play the hero to get close to him. But a delay in the previous performance changed the timing, and it hit me instead. I lay in the emergency room for 48 hours before my life was saved, but my legs suffered chronic injuries, preventing me from ever running and jumping like normal people, let alone dancing. The Black Swan variation at the school celebration became my last dance in that previous life. In this life, it was Chu Lin who was injured. Hu Cheng accompanied me to visit her in the hospital. Standing in front of Chu Lin's hospital bed, tears fell as I returned her words from a past life back to her. Junior sister, you must rebuild well. Even if you cannot dance in the future, there is still a beautiful future ahead. Although my words were gentle and full of positive energy, Chu Lin's face turned even paler after hearing them. She bit her lip hard, giving Hu Cheng a miserable look as if she had been struck a heavy blow. How ironic, she knew the pain now, didn't she? The original speaker of those words had been her, and I had only changed one word. Senior sister, you must rebuild well. Even if you cannot dance in the future, there is still a beautiful future ahead. Seeing the humiliated expression on her face, I felt a deep sense of satisfaction. I clenched my fists to suppress the smile tugging at my lips. From the corner of my eye, I saw Hu Cheng frown and look at me disapprovingly. So, he begins to feel pity now, I thought. He never pitied me in the past life. I ignored him and left the hospital room first. Hu Cheng followed me. You shouldn't have said that. It will upset junior sister Chu. Even after all this time, I could feel his protective stance towards Chu Lin. I forced a smile. junior sister Chu isn't as she appears on the surface." Hearing my words, a fleeting tenderness crossed Hu Cheng's eyes as he recalled Chu Lin's strong demeanor while asking the doctor to change her dressing. "Yes, she has perseverance. Can endure hardship. Such girls are rare these days." How ironic. In my previous life, during my hospital stay, Chu Lin visited me with a gift. She stood by my bed, tears falling like pearls, and it just so happened that Hu Cheng saw this. After she left, Hu Cheng said to me, "Junior sister Chu is quite sensible, not quite what her appearance would suggest." That year, he was a senior, although it was time to hand over the presidency of the student council to the next generation. He fought against the opinions of others and held on to the position until graduation. Later, I realized it was because Chu Lin was a member of the school's publicity department, and a retiring president shouldn't frequently meet with members. From that moment, I started noticing that Hu Cheng treated Chu Lin differently from others. I began to stir up trouble, successfully becoming a catalyst that strengthened their relationship. I stared blankly at Hu Cheng. "Hu Cheng, you're a senior now. Are you still planning to stay in the student council?" Hu Cheng's eyes quickly darted away, then regained composure, his dark eyebrows furrowed, clearly displeased. "Jiao Jiao, you don't need to test me like this. I have no thoughts about her beyond being classmates." After saying this, he angrily got into his car and drove off. The car disappeared into the distance, leaving me alone. I looked up at the foggy sky, laughing until tears came. I hadn't said anything much, just asked if he was going to stay in the student council, and yet, he got so angry. It was nothing more than having plans in his heart and feeling guilty about them. I knew Hu Cheng had fallen for Chu Lin again. Hu Cheng and I had been betrothed since birth, and I had always considered myself his bride, even thrilled by a kiss in the glass house on my 16th birthday. Even if we disregard the bonds formed from childhood, we had been together for 5 years, yet, I couldn't compare to Chu Lin, whom he had only met once. Is this what they call the heroine's halo? If that's the case, I, Yuan Jiaojiao, am not without self-respect. In my previous life, had my legs not been completely disabled, I wouldn't have clung to him after discovering his love for Chu Lin. Touching my intact legs, my heart quivered slightly. With my legs healthy in this life, could it be that my fate might also change? In this life, my first quarrel with Hu Cheng, though it wasn't really a quarrel but rather a cold war, was entirely one-sided on his part. As usual, whenever I detected the slightest unhappiness in him, I would proactively clarify things with him, but now I didn't want to waste the effort. I asked my parents if it would damage the Yuan family's reputation if Hu Cheng and I were to break off our engagement someday. My father's thick eyebrows knitted together. If he dares, where would the Hu family be without the support of the Yuan family in the past? I sipped my soup, the smile on my lips tinged with bitterness. Father didn't know that even the greatest favor could only be called upon once, not for a lifetime. In my previous life, when he wanted to break off the engagement, I clung to him desperately, which led Chu Lin to challenge me to a race. Betting on who would leave him, I accepted her challenge. And she died in that contest. Since then, Hu Cheng hated me, and even though we were married under the coercion of grandfather Hua, he never let me live comfortably. Mother said, "Hu Cheng is the most gentle among his peers, and my daughter is both beautiful and intelligent. They are bound to have a happy marriage." She didn't know that Hu Cheng might still be gentle now, but after Chu Lin's death, he became cold, indifferent, irritable, and estranged from his kin. 3 years after Chu Lin's death, following my parents, grandfather Hua also passed away. Hu Cheng, unrestrained, vented all his resentment on me. He humiliated me unabashedly at home. "Yuan Jiaojiao, are you so lowly that you must tie a man who doesn't love you to your side? Why couldn't it have been you who died back then?" In business, Hu Cheng ruthlessly pursued me, the Yuan family's business being gradually swallowed by the Hu Corporation. "You used to rely on the Yuan family's power and didn't take Chu Lin seriously. Now, I want to see what you can do without the Yuan family backing you." When Hu Cheng sold the old Yuan family mansion at a low price, he even considered buying the cemetery where my parents were buried to develop an amusement park. At that time, I was already 2 months pregnant and was so upset that I ended up in the hospital several times to save the pregnancy. He stormed into my hospital room with his private doctor, intending to terminate the pregnancy. I knelt on the ground, crying and begging him to spare the child in memory of the Yuan ancestors who once saved the Hua family from disaster. His expression was so calm, as if watching an animal perform, with a cold indifference that had nothing to do with him. "If you can keep it, then keep it." How could I keep it? At that time, I was already very weak, even struggling to get out of bed. Huiqing left me in a private residence of the Hua family without medical care or professional nursing, only arranging for a mute nanny to provide 1 meal a day. In less than half a month, I lost the baby. That was our first child. Whenever I think of these things, I feel a roaring in my ears and my stomach cramps with nausea. My father sat beside me. Baby, tell your father, did that Hua boy bully you? My loving father was still there. But I didn't know when white hairs had begun to appear in his thick black hair. My throat was so sore, I managed a faint smile and lied. Dad, Huiqing has a good temper. My father noticed my hand trembling as I held the soup spoon, and his gaze grew thoughtful. After a while, he said seriously, baby, just hang in there. Once I finish this project I'm working on, the Yuan family's foundation will be secure. Then, Yuan Hao's daughter won't have to live at the mercy of anyone. The project. My face suddenly turned pale. In my previous life, it was this project that began the slow decline of the Yuan family. Huiqing and I had been cold to each other for 5 days, something that had never happened before. Our mutual friends noticed and tried to get us out together for some fun, but Huiqing and I both declined, citing academic reasons. 2 days later, it was Yanlei's birthday. Since we all grew up together in the same circle and our parents knew each other, I couldn't really refuse to attend. I arrived late, and they were already having a great time. Chu Lin was there too, and within a week, she had made her way into the circle. Just like in my previous life, Chu Lin lost a game again, and Yanlei, ever the mischief maker, insisted she choose a man to play the noodle-eating game with her on the spot. Chu Lin, still not fully recovered and in a wheelchair, blushed deeply under everyone's gaze. After much hesitation, just like in her past life, she raised her hand and pointed at Huiqing. I stood at the doorway, smiling lightly, unnoticed as the room buzzed with excitement. Huiqing hesitated at first and didn't get up immediately, but seeing Chu Lin's eyes redden, he nodded gently in agreement. Each took an end of the noodle in their mouth, and as the noodle grew shorter, their lips drew closer, igniting the atmosphere in the room. Cheers erupted, everyone forgetting that Huiqing had a girlfriend. I turned away without looking back. Behind me stood an aunt with an embarrassed expression. Miss Yuan, it's just kids fooling around. Her tone was very cautious, fearful that I might impulsively cause a scene at the young Master Yan's birthday party. She wasn't wrong to worry. In my previous life, I indeed made a scene. I barged into the room with my crutch, slapped Chu Lin, scolded Yanlei, and even pushed the aunt who tried to intervene. I didn't mean to push her, and I didn't know she was Yanlei's aunt from his hometown. Yanlei had lost his mother young and was very close to her. That outburst completely ruined my relationship with Huiqing and strained things with Yanlei. At that time, I knew nothing about doing business, only aware that the Hua family owned extensive properties, unmatched in our circle, yet unaware that a third of the Hua family's business relied on the Yan family's connections. The Yan family had a vast and intricate network of relationships. A week after the incident, the major project that was supposed to be a sure thing for my dad fell through. Later on, there was a major upheaval in the Yuan family's business chain. I went to seek help from Yanlei, but I couldn't even get through the gates of his house. Uncle Yan didn't like me. He forbade Yanlei from helping me, and even more from getting involved in the matters between Huiqing and me. Auntie, could you please give this gift to Xiaolei for me? I won't go in. I smiled as I handed the gift to the auntie, then quietly left. It was as if I had never been there. The next day, Yanlei made a special trip to see me at school, and we met at a coffee shop outside the campus. Yanlei arrived first and ordered my favorite, a cherry blossom latte. He first thanked me for the gift I sent him, then delicately said, Jiao Jiao, I'm sorry. We drank too much last night. Don't take it to heart, okay? Auntie must have told him everything she saw last night. It's fine. My smile remained as I shook my head at him. He sighed in relief. As long as you understand, Huiqing knows his limits. I heard from my dad that old Mr. Hua met him for tea recently and said that as soon as Huiqing graduates, he'll formalize the engagement with your family. It should be soon, right? Soon, according to the trajectory of my previous life. It would be next month, but this time, Huiqing and I won't get engaged. I blinked, pretending not to understand. Really, actually, I think both Huiqing and I are still young. There's no rush. Besides, each of us belongs to our own families. If not Huiqing, my marriage partner could be another young man from the capital, or there could even be some changes. Yanlei paused, lifting his eyes to look at me, a glint of starlight in his gaze. You didn't say that before. When we graduated from high school, I confess to you that I only liked him, youthful and naive. I thought liking someone meant for a lifetime, but feelings cannot be measured by time, a lifetime is too long, and liking only one person seems too dull. I chuckled. I was just a child back then. Yanlei seemed a bit agitated. And now, what about now? I stirred my coffee, not answering his question directly. Instead, I gently placed my hand on his. If one day I have a falling out with Huqing, you would help me, right? Yanlei trembled, his ears turning red uncontrollably. He grasped my hand with his other hand, but only briefly, then he quickly let go. Yanlei met my gaze, nodding firmly. Of course. He looked at my hand on his, pursing his lips. Jiao Jiao, even if you didn't do this, I, and the Yan family behind me, will always be on your side. Yanlei had liked me since we were young, but I never felt the same, so he always stayed by my side as a friend. Initially, I just considered him a friend. But after he confessed, I avoided him. Then he became good friends with Huqing. After pushing away his aunt's issue, he was indeed mad at me for a while, but when he later found out that Huqing was with Chu Lin, he came to persuade me to break up with Huqing and consider him. At that time, stung by Huqing and Chu Lin, I felt that the unattainable is always the most desirable, and so I rejected him. There was never anyone else by his side. Only later did I find out that the Yuan family was suppressed by Huqing. He helped me a lot behind his dad's back. The day I died, he was attending a meeting abroad. Just out of the meeting room, he heard the news of my death and vomited blood. He rushed back, wanting to see me one last time. Unfortunately, the plane on his return journey had an accident. My eyes became sour, and my vision gradually blurred. I looked at the blushing big boy in front of me, feeling a bitter sweetness stir within me. Thank you. Seeing the tears welling up in my eyes, Yanlei panicked. Jiao Jiao, don't cry. Don't cry, don't worry, I'll stand by you. I know you mean well, but your father, Yanlei lifted his chin proudly, my dad, the big romantic, listens to everything I say. Uncle Yan, truly is a rare romantic in our circle. Yanlei's mom passed away from complications during childbirth, and Uncle Yan raised him single-handedly without remarrying, in this life. I haven't caused Yanlei's aunt to be hospitalized, the Yuan family hasn't fallen into ruin, and my reputation is still intact. Uncle Yan should help my family. Seeing my worried look, Yanlei quickly raised his hand, swearing an oath. Don't worry, I'll make sure my dad helps when I get back. His smile broadened, his eyes twinkling like stars. That promise was all I needed. It's well known in the capital that the men of the Yan family keep their word. Sorry, Yanlei, for using you first. In return, I will definitely change your fate. I reached out and tugged at his sleeve, curving my lips into a graceful arc. Go back now. And remember not to let anyone know. Yanlei touched my hair lightly with his hand and grinned. I understand. As the car disappeared around the corner, I moved forward a few steps to a black van parked nearby. Using the closed windows as a mirror, I examined my appearance. With reddened eyes and a flushed nose, I looked both innocent and pitiable. It turns out this could work too. In my past life, I disdained Chu Lin's facade of being strong in front of others but weepy behind them. Now, I find myself acting just like her. I dropped the pitiable facade and walked towards the school with a serene face. 11. Inside the black van, Hu, the assistant in the driver's seat, dared not make a sound. Huqing's dark eyes were fixed in the direction of the school gate. He had originally promised Chu Lin to take her for a checkup today, but coincidentally, as the car reached the school gate, he saw Yuan Jiaojiao entering a cafe by the roadside. She had been there for half an hour since her appearance. The tinted car windows shielded the inside from view. But from inside, the actions and expressions of those outside were clear. His girlfriend secretly meeting with a brother. Huqing scoffed coldly, feeling the irony. He had been feeling guilty, avoiding getting too close to Chu Lin. It turned out Yuan Jiaojiao had gotten close with Yanlei first. No wonder she was less clingy than before, dismissive in her messages, and unresponsive to calls. This was for the better. He didn't need to feel guilty anymore. Huqing's lips twitched. He took a deep breath, trying to suppress the unease in his heart, but it was to no avail. Just then, Chu Lin slowly emerged from the school gate. She was dressed beautifully in a mint green dress, revealing her slender legs. Her pretty face lit up brightly at the sight of him. The bright sunlight added a touch of wildness to her. Huqing watched the girl not far away, narrowing his eyes. Before coming, he had asked his assistant to drive the company car to avoid being recognized. Thinking of the intimate behavior between Yuan Jiaojiao and Yanlei earlier, he suddenly didn't want to hide anymore. let everyone see. Huicheng pushed open the car door and stepped out. 12. That evening, Dad announced that the project was finalized. With Uncle Yan's connections, it was settled over a dinner. I called Yan Lei to thank him, but he hung up. 3 seconds later, he video called me from the gym. The person in the camera's lens has fair skin dotted with fine beads of sweat and bright red lips. It makes one's heart skip a beat. I called to thank you. Did I disturb you? The man paused mid-action, his bright eyes intently staring over. Do you still need to say thank you to me? At those words, I pursed my lips and remained silent. Seeing that I made no comment, Yan Lei coughed. I don't mean to rush you. Take your time. I won't mention it to Huicheng. Anyway, I'm fine with it. It's just that sometimes I want to see you, but I'm afraid to seek you out. After all, it's not officially acknowledged, and it could lead to gossip. After he finished speaking, he moved the phone slightly away. He lifted his shirt hem and wiped the sweat from his face. In doing so, he revealed a clear set of abs, so striking that it was hard to look away. Honestly, Yan Lei has a better physique than Huicheng. I swallowed and shifted my gaze away lightly. As for Huicheng, I'll handle it as soon as I can, but maybe I'll need your help again. Is that okay? The man in the video looked at me and grinned with a flash of his teeth, happy to help. That evening, someone captured a photo of senior Huicheng from senior year picking up a junior girl in his car. I remained indifferent, continuing with my usual routine of classes, library, and dorm. A kind classmate came to warn me, but I only responded, I believe Huicheng isn't like that, and although I haven't met Junior Chu personally, I've heard from other friends that she might seem unapproachable, but she's actually very nice. The person hesitated to speak further, then just shook their head and left. Later, rumors spread that Chu Lin and I were close friends and that Huicheng picking her up was at my request. My roommate saw this and scoffed. Who would want to be friends with that kind of person? I don't know who started that rumor. Who else but Chu Lin herself, trying to snatch Huicheng and step on me to gain a good reputation, playing both sides. That's the heroine for you. Let her take Huicheng if she wants. But I absolutely won't allow her to step on me to climb higher. A week after Yan Lei's birthday, a video of Huicheng and Chu Lin playing a game was posted on the school's forum. Overnight, the way people looked at me changed from mere disappointment to sympathy and indignation. In a previous life, Huicheng told me it was just a game and not to take it to heart, but was it really just a game? I skipped class with my roommate Tang Tang and bought a bunch of snacks. When we reached the student union, they told me Huicheng was in the office, carrying a lot of stuff. 2 classmates volunteered to help carry it up. Just as we reached the president's office door, we heard voices inside. I didn't know any of the people there at the time, except you a bit. I didn't expect it to be misunderstood. I'll go to Yuan's dorm later to explain, and I'll clarify on the forum too. Huicheng leaned on the desk, facing the window, with the female voice falling into his ears as he rotated his wristwatch. His tone was emotionless. No need, let them talk. Chu Lin was silent for a while, her tone aggrieved. I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a girlfriend. Hearing this, Tang Tang couldn't hold back anymore. Thrusting the snacks into the arms of a classmate behind her, she kicked open the door and pointed at Chu Lin, erupting in anger. Give me a break. Who in the school doesn't know Jiao Jiao and Huicheng are a couple? Their photos have always been pinned at the top of the school forum. And last year in the school's promotional video they were even holding hands on camera. If you're blind you should at least have ears. During the school anniversary, when Huicheng was hosting, the girls were shouting Jiao Jiao's name so loud they almost broke their throats. Are you deaf? Even if you are blind and deaf, wouldn't you ask if someone has a partner before playing flirty games with them? The other members of the student union who had come up laughed. Their looks toward Chu Lin were full of disdain. Chu Lin, suddenly exposed, her face flushed red, instinctively looked towards Huicheng. Huicheng looked deeply at me. Why did you come today? Not yesterday, not the day before, but today. She probably thought I was disrupting her plans. Chu Lin slightly curled her lips, lifted her chin proudly, and looked at me with a hint of triumph. Before coming here, I thought these two would deny everything to the end. But I didn't expect Huicheng to be so careless. He even openly showed his disdain. I lowered my head, feeling a bit amused. My shoulders shook slightly, and it took me a moment to suppress my laughter before I looked up again. Can't I come? My voice was calm, but there was a choke in my tone. To others, it must have seemed like the ultimate grievance. Why is Senior Huicheng like this? I heard he and Jiao Jiao are even planning to get engaged. That's so blatant, totally irresponsible. Although I look somewhat delicate, I am strong-willed and never show weakness in front of others. Even Huiqing was taken aback for a moment. He had never seen me like this before. He gradually frowned, seemingly unsure how to handle the situation. In truth, I didn't want to hear his explanations. I just wanted to get this drama over with. My tears were almost ready to fall. I'm leaving. I bit my lip. Giving Huiqing a mournful look, the tears I had prepared started to fall in front of everyone. Then, taking Tang Tang by the hand, I turned to leave, but I was stopped by a student council member. Senior Yuan, don't go. The one who should leave isn't you. Yeah, some people are too much. They need to figure out their place. Don't get too arrogant with a 2+1 attitude. Just stop being disgusting. The murmurs grew louder. Chu Lin's chest heaved with anger as she stood up, fists clenched. Yuan Jiao, stop playing the victim. Was it you who posted that video on the forum last time? You even went to the hospital to mock my disability, and now you're here staging this drama for whom? I couldn't help but smile internally. That was the right approach. These were the lines from my past life. Back then, I stormed in here alone, wanting to confront Chu Lin about whether she was the one who leaked that night's video, only to see her crying in Huiqing's arms. Furious, I lost my temper again. Seen by people from the student council who came to deliver something. Chu Lin played the innocent victim and started crying about leaving, which led others to accuse me of throwing a tantrum at the student council, ruining my reputation at school from then on. This time, I just went downstairs first. Brought some snacks for the students in a meeting, and when they cautiously asked me if I had seen the forum, I confidently and openly expressed my trust in Huiqing and Chu Lin. It was somewhat similar to what Chu Lin said in my previous life. I believe Senior Yuan didn't mean to do it. She just loves Senior Huiqing too much and can't control her temper. Right, Chu Lin, have you gone mad? Who would post such an embarrassing video online for others to see? Why are you snapping like a dog? As I walked downstairs with Tang Tang, I could hear Chu Lin's tearful sobs behind me. Why are you all treating me this way? I clearly haven't done anything wrong. My roommate was so angry she gritted her teeth. I really want to slap this idiot. I patted her on the shoulder, telling her to relax. Stepping out of the main building, a gentle breeze and the bright sunlight made me look up at the blue sky and smile contentedly. My roommate puzzled. How can you still smile after all this? Because I won. From the visit to the hospital, I had deliberately provoked Chu Lin to make her angry. As the art of war states, agitate them and tire them. If your opponent makes you angry, you're likely to lose. In my previous life, Chu Lin agitated me first, causing me to lose my composure and rhythm, and I kept losing to her. This life, I started by agitating her first. I won the first round, and now, by agitating her again, I've won another round. I won. I will keep on winning. Suddenly, a wave of panic surged in Huiqing's heart as he stood up straight in the office. Just as he was about to follow someone out the door, Chu Lin grabbed his arm. Senior, could you please speak for me? I didn't do it. Huiqing lowered his head to look at Chu Lin, who was crying pitifully, and suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Huiqing was hospitalized. His classmates from the student council sent him there. Acute gastritis. He posted a message on his social circle. Soon, all his close friends rushed over. When everyone arrived, they found only Huiqing and Chu Lin in the hospital room. They all laughed. They were about to tease them, but Huiqing glanced behind them. A trace of disappointment flickered in his eyes. Is it just you guys? Everyone was startled. Within their circle, they were the closest. If anyone else was to be mentioned, it would only be Yuan Jiao and Yan Lei. With Chu Lin there, it wouldn't be appropriate for Yuan Jiao to come. Someone guessed he was asking about Yan Lei. Yan Lei has been busy lately. Whenever we call him out, he always says he's busy. Busy, of course, he's busy. Busy dating. Such a couple. Huiqing's expression grew colder and colder. Seeing that the atmosphere had turned tense, everyone dared not speak further. Only Chu Lin, a bit bolder, poured a glass of water for Huiqing. Huiqing took it, then coldly pointed at one of the guys. Call Yan Lei. That guy did as told and put Yan Lei on speakerphone. As soon as the call connected, heavy breathing sounds that could lead to wild guesses were heard. Bang! Huiqing slammed the glass down onto the floor. Ah! Splashes of water and shards of glass scattered everywhere. Chu Lin screamed in fright. Everyone was silent, not knowing why Huiqing was so angry, and too scared to speak. The breathing from the phone continued. Huiqing shouted into the phone. Yan Lei, what are you doing? Who's with you? The sound of a treadmill stopped, and from the phone, Yan Lei's chuckling voice emerged. Huiqing, why the rush? Just running. Who did you think was with me? At this hour, that lady who let out a cry, who is she?" His tone was lazy, but each word struck deep into Huiqing's heart, and those who were initially clueless began to grasp something. Did Huiqing think Yan Lei was up to something? But even if he was, what did it have to do with him? Why was he so anxious? The next day, the story Chu Lin has no shame. A real vixen exploded across the social networks. Everyone knew that Chu Lin shamelessly interfered with Yuan Jiaojiao and Huiqing's relationship. Huiqing was not much better, openly displaying affection with his mistress in the student council. Chu Lin and Huiqing's reputations were completely ruined at the school. Meanwhile, Yuan Jiaojiao seemed to have given up. Previously, she kept her distance from other men because of Huiqing, but now she was frequently seen with Yan Lei. The heartthrob from the neighboring university, those in the circle sensed the real story. Huiqing was angry because he knew Yan Lei and Yuan Jiaojiao had gotten together, but he had found someone else too. Huiqing had someone call Yuan Jiaojiao. Reluctantly, the person dialed her number. Compelled by Huiqing's chilling demeanor, the call connected slowly. "What is it?" A man's voice came through. The temperature in the room seemed to drop below zero. They knew that voice all too well. Huiqing forced a smile, flames nearly shooting from his eyes. "Yan Lei, why do you have Yuan Jiaojiao's phone?" A laugh came from the other end of the line. "Huiqing, not only is the phone with me, but she is here with me too." Huiqing's veins throbbed at his temples. He snatched the phone and smashed it violently against the wall. "Yan Lei would visit me every now and then. He's a student from the university next door and comes to our school too well." Huiqing forced a smile, flames nearly shooting from his eyes. "Yan Lei, why do you have Yuan Jiaojiao's phone?" A laugh came from the other end of the line. "Huiqing, not only is the phone with me, but she is here with me too." Huiqing's veins throbbed at his temples. He snatched the phone and smashed it violently against the wall. "Yan Lei would visit me every now and then. He's a student from the university next door and comes to our school to play basketball." "You're 20 minutes later than yesterday." Yan Lei, dressed in a loose blue basketball jersey, ran over to me. "Lately, I don't know what's gotten into him. He often stops halfway through the game to have me bring him water. Even though there's bottled water available at the basketball court, he refuses to drink it, insisting instead that I make him herbal tea, claiming it's for health reasons." I handed him the kettle with a faint smile, explaining, "The water dispenser was broken. So I borrowed some hot water from the dorm supervisor." He huffed, picked up a bottle of mineral water from the ground, opened it, and handed it to me before taking the kettle from me, pouring half a cup, and mixing it with half a cup of mineral water before gulping it down. Sweat soaked through the back of his jersey, and with each breath he took, the logo on the front of his team uniform rose and fell. The setting sun sharply and deeply cut the contours of his profile. There were many tall guys with broad shoulders and narrow hips on the court, but Yan Lei stood out the most. It made my throat itch just looking at him, and I casually turned my gaze away. The next second, my head was turned back. "Miss Yuan, what strange thing are you looking at? Is it more interesting than me?" When Yan Lei lowered his head, his eyelids drooped, giving off a despondent and pitiful vibe, much like the Labrador on my roommate's wallpaper. I couldn't help myself and touched his fluffy, curly hair. Yan Lei's face immediately turned red, and he growled quietly, "What are you doing? You can't just touch a man's hair like that." "Oh, but I already did." I pursed my lips and smiled at him. "Sorry, I'll do it again next time." "Forget it, but don't make it a habit." He took a big gulp, one hand holding my thermos, the other pulling on my arm. "I'm so hungry, treat me to a meal." I really should treat him, considering I owe him a big favor. I smiled and was about to get up when a basketball came flying straight at me. I was frozen in place, terrified, as a dark shadow approached, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and a large hand caught it, slamming it back. Yan Lei shielded me behind him and yelled, "Huiqing, what are you doing?" Huiqing had arrived at some point. Without Chu Lin by his side, he often played basketball, but each department had its own court, and he seldom came to ours. Huiqing wasn't in his basketball jersey but wore a simple jacket, sweatpants, and sneakers, looking like he had just finished class. I always felt. He looked up at Yan Lei, his lips gradually straightening into a line. "Sorry, it slipped." Both of their faces turned cold, creating a tense standoff. The air seemed to be filled with the smell of gunpowder. "Yan Lei," I tugged at his arm, and he looked down at me in surprise. "I'm hungry, let's go." I smiled at him. He stared at me for a couple of seconds, then pursed his lips. "What do you want to eat? What do you feel like eating? Are you really treating me?" "Yeah, no, don't." I can't accept a girl taking me out for a meal, under the setting sun. We walked side by side out of the basketball court, neither of us giving Huiqing another glance. Huiqing stood rigidly in place, everything around him receding at an unusual pace. All he could see were the fading figures of the two of us, so near yet so far. The dimming sunlight stretched his shadow long, perhaps even he hadn't noticed, but his fingers hanging by his side were trembling slightly, when Huiqing called me. I was washing my hair and couldn't answer. By the time I dried my hands and tried to pick up, the call had ended. I didn't call back and rushed off to class instead. Unexpectedly, Huiqing was waiting for me in my classroom. Seeing someone secretly taking photos with their phone, I was on edge. It was a large class that lasted all afternoon. Attending class under the watchful eyes of everyone was uncomfortable, according to the plot. At this time, Huiqing should have been getting along well with Chu Lin. Why did he come here? Is there something you need? I asked quietly, turning my face to the side. I'm here to accompany you in class, Huiqing replied without looking up, seemingly oblivious to the stares of others, his eyes fixed on the book he brought. With our current relationship, that's really not necessary. Everyone knows we had a falling out. Huiqing slightly lifted his eyelids, his gaze deep and unreadable. What relationship do we have? If I remember correctly, you are my girlfriend. It's surprising he still remembers that I am his girlfriend. He didn't seem to remember that when he was playing games with Chu Lin. I gave a faint smile. We broke up a long time ago, did we? He flipped through his book, not looking up. I don't recall that. I bit my lip, puzzled by his thinking. Fine, we're breaking up now. Make sure you remember this time. Huiqing closed his book, looking up with a hint of melancholy in his eyes. I only remember that the Hua and Yuan families had arranged a marriage between us since we were children. Breaking up with Huiqing wasn't going to settle the arranged marriage. When Huiqing left, he said, "Grandfather wants you to come over for dinner on Sunday evening." In a past life, it was at this dinner that Grandfather Hua asked me if getting engaged to Huiqing next month was too rushed. At that time, my disagreements with Huiqing had escalated. And unable to endure the humiliation, I complained to Grandfather Hua about him. I told him about Huiqing's involvement with a girl of humble origins. Grandfather Hua, who values social status, struck Huiqing and even talked about setting things straight with Chu Lin. Under pressure, Huiqing agreed to the engagement, but the engagement party never happened, because the night before the engagement, he deliberately soaked himself in ice water all night and ended up in the hospital. To avoid marrying me, he was even willing to risk his life. This time, when Grandfather Hua asked, I planned to refuse directly, but I didn't expect Huiqing to agree before I could speak. Even though Grandfather Hua was asking me, he interrupted. Grandfather, Jiao won't mind, we've been together for so long. Before coming here, I had already discussed it with my parents. They were also aware of Huiqing and Chu Lin's situation, yet now, seeing Huiqing still wanting to go ahead with the engagement, my father was furious. With eyes full of anger fixed on Huiqing, who was calmly having his soup, he restrained his rage and said lightly, "Let's not discuss the engagement for now. Jiao is still young, and her mother and I would like to keep her with us for a few more years. Times have changed, and there's no longer any need for equal social standing in marriages. If Xiaochen truly likes that girl, he should bring her over for Grandpa to meet." I didn't expect my father to be so direct, which made Huiqing suddenly look up. Instead of looking at Grandpa Hua, he looked at me in disbelief. He hadn't expected me to tell my parents about it. He thought at most I would be upset with him, but that we would still get married. After all, I loved him so much. He was too confident. Grandpa Hua found out and decided to enforce the family discipline. Huiqing couldn't escape a beating, but this time, without my insistence, the marriage was called off. My relationship with Huiqing was officially over. That night, I posted on my social circle, "Once wished for us, now wishing for you and me." Many friends privately messaged me asking what happened. I simply replied, "We broke up." There was no need to explain further. They all knew about Huiqing's heated affair with a girl outside our circle. The Yuan family and Yuan Jiao were not at fault. I watched the drama unfold like an outsider. In this life, I was a perfect victim. Huiqing and Chu Lin stood at the lowest moral point. Only one person liked that post in my social circle. It was Yan Lei. At midnight, he called me. "Want to go see the sunrise?" "Sure." I put on my prettiest dress. Quietly, I ran downstairs, and got into Yan Lei's car. The air conditioning was on, and he handed me a blanket with a flushed face. "It'll take an hour and a half to get there." You should sleep a bit. I took the blanket, looked at him for a while. Why is your face red, is it? I blinked. Come closer, let me see. He pursed his lips, came closer. His face got even redder. I moved closer. Our lips touched, the touch and temperature just right. Sorry, I wanted a kiss. Is that it? What else did you have in mind? His eyes deepened, a faint blush in his glance. I licked my lips unconsciously. The strong scent of masculinity hit me. The heat of his lips, his solid body. Yen Lei was skilled. A tingling sensation spread as fireworks exploded in the distance. I was lost in the splendor. The sunrise was beautiful. As the sun rose from the horizon, Yen Lei took a photo of me and posted it on his social circle. Caption, lover. The comment section exploded. Are you guys together now? So early in the morning, you were together last night. I zoomed in on Jiao Jiao's neck. I leaned on Yen Lei, laughing uncontrollably at the comments. I had never experienced this feeling of being declared before. I saw Yen Lei replying to everyone. Finally got the chance, of course. I had to secure it early. I turned my head, the man beside me staring at his phone with a victorious smile. The sunlight made his face look stunning. After almost a sleepless night, I caught up on some sleep the next morning. It was pouring outside. The maid hesitated as she pointed downstairs. Master Hua has been here for a long time, miss, be careful. I always feel that Master Hua is a bit strange. The moment I saw Hua Qing, I understood what the maid meant by a bit strange. In just one night, he seemed like a completely different person. He was sitting on the sofa when he heard a noise and looked up. His usually cold and indifferent eyes were like two bottomless black holes. My heart skipped a beat. The man in front of me was a spitting image of the one 10 years later, full of hatred and brooding. I was certain that Hua Qing had also returned, and when he saw the marks on my neck, his eyes suddenly turned bloodshot. A bad premonition washed over me. The next second, Hua Qing rushed at me like a madman. He grabbed my neck with both hands. Yuan Jiao Jiao, who allowed you to be with Yen Lei? I tried to pry his hands off, but it was useless. The disparity in strength between men and women left me powerless to fight back. As I began to suffocate, I saw my aunt try to pull Hua Qing away. But he pushed her aside with one hand. Yuan Jiao Jiao, you belong to me, in past lives and in this one too. Don't even think about leaving me. His eyes were blood red, and he was clearly not in his right mind. The air in my lungs was slowly escaping. I felt like I was going to die. Is this my fate? Even reborn as a supporting character, I'm doomed to die at the hands of the protagonist. My vision started to blur, and my consciousness began to fade. Suddenly, a figure appeared and pulled Hua Qing away. The pressure on my neck was gone, and I collapsed to the ground, gasping for air. Yen Lei pinned Hua Qing to the ground. Cough, cough, cough. Don't hit him, just call the police. Hua Qing was taken away directly. The house was equipped with cameras, and his actions were caught, constituting intentional harm. Because the injuries were not severe, he was sentenced to only a year and a half. But that was enough for me. Hua Qing was indeed exceptional. But the Hua family has other grandsons. The Hua family wouldn't want an heir with a criminal record. He was now out of the running for the inheritance. After Hua Qing was incarcerated, I kept tabs on Chu Lin, finding her close with another wealthy young man in the circle, though he wasn't as blindly romantic as Hua Qing. Perhaps it was because of Hua Qing's precedent. Initially, the man had genuine feelings for her, but he didn't let it affect his decisions regarding arranged marriages and education. Chu Lin followed him for a while but was eventually dumped. Unsatisfied, she went to his family's home and was humiliated. On the way back, she was in a car accident. She ended up with the same fate she had before. She clearly had other paths to take, to leave and start anew. Unfortunately, she hadn't been reborn and didn't know that this world was just a tragic novel, or perhaps the current developments are just a new novel. But what does it matter? What's real and what's not? Who can truly say? Yen Lei's social media updates weren't hidden from elders. Uncle Yen saw them, and so did my parents. A week later, the Yan and Yuan families arranged an engagement for their children. Yen Lei was quite unhappy with it. Can't we just get married directly? After receiving my glare, he finally shut his mouth. The day after the engagement party,